stream.
But everyone should. Including myself. That's called monitoring. That's different. Oh, God, no. 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 Mind me just randomly playing stuff off my phone. What are they even playing?
Yeah, I tried to sign up just so you have like somebody else in the viewership, and every once in a while I'll chat with author or something. But Saturday, I looked over there and realized I could see the whole map. I was like, "Oh shit! I can't look at that." Now I kind of wish I had. That was a shit show.
Yeah.
It was worse the time that Bianchi and I were on our own in an underground adventure. Seriously, I don't think Diego goes underground anymore.
Now you need to sap these walls. No!
Bianchi!
And then we shout out to... We did that there. That here.
You need to sap these walls. Smoke bomb!
Duran's going to say a message like, you all suck. Corbin can't run a game.
Because if you say stuff like that, then you put them in timeout.
I mean, not that there's any evidence of it. I've never done that.
Yeah,
that can be proven.
Okay.
Oh, fudge muffins.
It's okay. Hockey rules. I got you. 5 minutes in the penalty box, so you got to make it worth it.
Don't make it too worth it though, because then it turns into an ejection penalty.
That's right. Just a few teeth. That's all.
No, the person,
Gloves
not the
on the
teeth.
eyes.
I mean, the teeth, yes, but...
Yeah. Gloves on the eyes. All right, it's on.
Time for the hockey episode of Halanak Station.
I agreed to go. I agreed to go with my family to a hockey game a couple weeks ago, solely based on the enjoyment of Shorzy.
Was it pro or like minor league?
It was pro. It was the Dallas Stars versus Colorado Avalanche.
Nice. Ow.
I sometimes go to see. We have a little. I don't know. If they call it a farm team or what. There's the Charlotte Knights, and it's just a blast. Everybody's just having way too much fun.
All right. And that, hello everyone. This is the Metropolis Video Game Tour. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, and we're doing another episode of Halanak Station, a Star Trek adventure, a Star Trek TTRPG adventure, I should say. And, yeah. Some events happened. It was going to be a super peaceful day, and then these poor people had to ruin it with their looking into things they shouldn't look into, and they're paying the price for it. But I believe I'm going to ask for a log. Thralik, you got a little preamble before we started. Do you want to try a log from what little you've gotten so far?
I mean, my log would just be what I've been up to, so probably not that useful.
Then I would say either Rylef or Kovic, since you're the most senior on either side of the coin that isn't hospitalized.
I look out my window. Things are not
Kovic
going
doesn't
great.
know what the hell's going on.
Neither of us do. So we could both do the same log of we're not quite sure yet, but we're gonna figure it out.
Also, my big question is: are we picking up directly where we left off, or has time passed after that?
Some time has passed. It's the morning after, basically. As the chaos kind of very, very quickly, as I can say safely, that Serrano was taken straight to a hospital and was stabilized, but otherwise that is not further's not really known.
Okay, sure, I can throw something out there.
Okay.
What's my title again? Right.
Oh, sorry, I lied to you. I lied to you. It's not the next day. It's a few hours after. I just remembered my own start date.
Okay, so like a couple hours has passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harmonizer's log, stardate 60576.6, and
Correction, 70577.
What?
I have the wrong one in there. Don't mind me. I have it right in my notes, just not where you can see it. Try that. There you go. Sorry, go on. My mistake.
70577.
Yes.
Any points or anything there?
No.
Harmonizer's log, 70577 is the start date, and I'm going to have to pay up core because things have gone to hell on the station before I had them on our betting pool. So everything seemed to be going fine after delivering the harbingers and the entire process of the investigation into their history and the history with the in theory and whether or not they still constituted a existential threat was thankfully moved into the hands of the politicians and the higher judicial system. I spent the day making my rounds of the usual haunts and informants, letting everybody know that I was back in town, catching up on what was going on in the station, picking up a little bit of intel here and there, particularly something I need to remember to talk to Rulan about, maybe a couple of others. But in any event, before I could get into that, I noticed that there was kind of an uptick in nervousness on the station, in part due to the rise in a kind of more militant attitude on the part of the FIS. And this seemed to be being stirred up by someone. A little bit of investigation pretty quickly pointed me to Captain of the Stars, Sariana. So I just kind of tucked that information in my back pocket and decided to keep an eye on it and see how things developed. As far as I aware, she wasn't doing anything illegal, just slightly unethical as a military officer from where I come from, but whatever. But then all of a sudden that evening while I'm doing paperwork, I get a official request from the Ministry of Defense to issue a warrant and arrest the Captain of the Stars for hacking into the files of the Department of Defense. I call Sariana in. We have a little talk. I look more closely at the request. And it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly that this is some kind of frame job. Why the Department of Defense is needing to frame Sariana, I don't know. She claimed she was just doing some basic research into the Secretary of Defense, or Minister of Defense, rather. But I don't know exactly the details of that because once we'd come up with the facts of the case, I stepped out of my office for a few minutes to get a cup of coffee and got contacted by Commander Haifa, who tells me that someone is requesting that he come pick them up in the new superfast shuttle and take them far away. I, of course, tell him that I don't know who that might be. I suggested that probably means that whoever it was needing to get off the station in a hurry. So anyway, after Sariana and I finish off our talk, before she can get out of my office, we're alerted that there's a bunch of Upentari on the thoroughfare in front of the main station protesting my illegal detention of the Captain of the Stars. Sariana strides out in order to try and calm the crowd down and show that she is in fact not under arrest and hasn't been illegally detained. At least I assumed that was her purpose, because before I knew it, she slumped to the ground, or kind of collapsed, I guess, sort of like a flan in a cupboard. But no gunshots, no apparent cause of death. I called in, or she's not dead, no apparent cause of her sudden collapse. I called in the medics and got the crowd calmed down and dispersed enough for them to get through. Last word is she's been stabilized in medbay, but that's all I know at this point. So things are getting really interesting in really terrible ways here on Halanak Station. I'm going to need more cigarettes. End log.
And this is a 2-threat game. Star system, planet, orbit, rather. And camera will actually pan over to Captain Thralic, who we had, who was with the Department of Temporal Affairs being thoroughly debriefed, which was interrupted as of the Seirana attack incident. A red alert basically went off because an emergency occurred aboard station. That was very quickly settled by Kovic, but that did interrupt the debriefing. But thankfully for Thralic, the lion's share of the investigation is done. Now it's just a matter of Thralic being informed of the various, not a ton of messages. There's been a few messages that have percolated up to your desk. Commander Haifa did want to meet with the captain, but she was detained, literally. But he went off on his maiden voyage.
Lies. Never detained.
No, Thralic was by the Department of Temporal Affairs.
Oh, right, yeah, sure, that's fine.
There we go. Thanks. So the Halanak prototype Alpha did launch forth from station and successfully has gotten to the insectoid. I forget the name of the planet again. I looked it up the other day.
It's in
Zindi
Prime.
Yeah, yeah. So they got the.
They're all from the same planet.
Yeah. So they got the Zindi Prime, and they're going to be. They currently are coming tomorrow, unless told to do otherwise. But that's going on. Thralic, you would be updated as to the log that Kovic's put in, because that is relevant information to the biggest concern on station. You have been noted as a courtesy by the Minister of Defense about the arrest warrant that is currently out for Captain Star Seirana, but it is being serviced by the Harmonizer's office. They're just letting you know, so you know that's happening.
All right.
And also, whoops, there is. You are informed that there is a Commander Che aboard. He is from the. He just recently arrived at a very bad moment, but he arrived today as part of the. On behalf of the High Council to look into Halanak Station and see how Starfleet was doing. So he was going to meet with you, but you've been busy. Well, he was going to meet Pend, but he got here before. He was heading here to meet with Pend before he left. So by the time he got here, that's when he learned. So that's another thing on your back burner. But yeah, you have the station, Captain. Oh, and also, Captain, you do have some administrative problems. Certain chains of command you might want to clear up, although they've gotten muddled by the crisis at the moment. So where, pray tell, are you? After all of that, you could be in operations, but you could be in your office or something to that regard.
I'll say that I'm in ops right now, because I think there's a lot going on, and ops is the best place to be when there's a lot going on.
The busy and bustling atmosphere of various officers, both Starfleet and FIS.
Yeah, so let's see. What's the most immediately pressing of that? I guess. Like, what has the most
urgency?
Yeah.
Insight Command, difficulty 1.
All right. Let's see. Strategy and tactics?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll give you a threat for 1 die.
Generate 3. I would say your most pressing is the attack on your Captain of Stars, your station commanding officer, because executive officer, because you also have the dual issue that she is subject to a warrant at the moment, and you have yet to meet with the harmonizer regarding the issue, either the attack or the warrant.
Right.
Also, then... you were slightly poked at by your chief engineer on the topic, but tangentially, because the chief engineer didn't know what was going on, didn't know what it was related to.
Cool.
I mean, Hiva's message is specifically that a request for clarification because the Captain of the Stars possibly asked Haifa to be an accomplice to a crime. So it's explicitly related, I think, to this issue.
Especially since it happened like only maybe 5 minutes before the attack.
Cool. Then I will try to schedule a meeting with Kovic, and let's see. I'm going to basically I'm going to send a memo to Haifa inviting them to that meeting as well.
Ops informs you that she's currently at she could attend. Well, I mean, either way, she is currently at Zindi Prime, so she'd have to quantum slipstream back or communicate over the QEC.
Remote attendance would be fine. I think it's like added on to that invite.
Very, very good. Kovic, the command staff, reaches out to you to set up a meeting with Captain Thralic.
Put him off till the morning.
Fair
I
enough.
got stuff I need to do.
You were so informed, Captain Thralic?
Well, like, we're not in the same command chain. I can't really force the issue there. Like,
there's not really a need to either. It's you've got the meeting just in the morning.
Got the meeting in the morning? I'll abide by that. In which case, God, what do I do? I guess I'm probably gonna start trying to sort out my command chain. In that case.
So at present, station executive officer is in question, but that's a legal issue. Administratively, your Da Vinci does not have a commanding officer anymore.
Yep.
And also whether or not you want to maintain a station staff to replace the Admiralty staff, where you're going to pare down to a simple bridge staff sort of setup. Like, you're not adding like adjunct and other such things. I don't think you'll need to, because the only extra things you absolutely need would be, well, not absolutely need, but would nice to have would be like strategic operations officer, intelligence. You have like 2 fleet liaisons.
Mm-hmm.
3, counting Sarai.
Yeah, like I think there's probably some pairing back that is necessitated by the position being held by a captain rather than an admiral now.
Right.
So like some of that admiralty staff that got rotated out with Pend probably just doesn't have replacements coming in, I guess. But other than that, I think I'm comfortable maintaining a decent Starfleet presence on the station. And then, let's see, with regards to the captaincy of the Da Vinci, Haifa's going to receive another message, like, a few minutes later, asking for a call at their convenience.
Yeah, and then I think you'll get a call back into the interior of the prototype. Most of its interior walls are probably like laid on top of each other with all the panels exposed. Click is probably furiously in the background because you'll find this out in a month when the official report actually makes it through the normal relay system, but the shuttle had a power issue on the jump there, and the only reason we didn't have too much trouble is because the shuttle has 2 secondary reactors, so we had to dump 10 power.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason we didn't come back immediately was we were going to take time to make repairs. So all that to set up the shuttle. You're looking at the inside of a shuttle that has been like taken apart by Haifa and Click to rebuild.
Cool.
And Haifa will say, "Yes, command. Yes, Captain."
Commander, I hope your excursion is going all right.
We're looking for a final diagnosis, but I don't think it's anything me and Click can't handle.
Wonderful. What's your expected return to Halanak?
Well, we've been on repairs for 4 hours, probably another 4 hours of repairs, and then a standard off shift time for the specialist, and then we'll return.
All right. Once you're back at Halanak Station, meet me in my office. We have some command decisions to discuss.
Is this related to the Captain of the Stars?
No. That situation is currently entangled in the FIS legal system, and I don't want to poke it too much.
All right, then give me 13 hours. Unless you need me to stop by Earth or Andorra or Vulcan for anything on the way back.
No. Just return to station at your convenience. And
very good, Captain. Will do.
Best of luck with continued exercises. Captain Thralic out. just gonna shake her head after seeing the state that the shuttle was in. Like, she's not an engineer, but she served with enough engineers to know that Tifa might have been downplaying how bad things were. Doesn't know it for sure, but it's just like, that didn't look great. Alright. I think, what else is on my plate again?
There is, the Klingon ambassador.
Yeah, right. Are they inbound or arrived?
They're here. They arrived, like, earlier today. It's just, they couldn't meet with you. And they were mildly displeased from what you were told, that the Rear Admiral wasn't here. But you also weren't available, and you can't ignore the Department of Temporal Affairs, so
yeah,
gonna have to wait on that.
Then yeah, I will let the Klingon ambassador know that I'm available for a meeting if they still desire it.
You are informed that he's currently out dining, but you are welcome to join him. Otherwise, he's going to be... he was planning to be out all night, so he wasn't really expecting to meet with you today since you're too busy for him.
Right. I'll join him at the meal then. Yeah.
You find an older Klingon. Though his hair is dark, you can see the streaks of gray tilting at his hair and in his beard. He is surrounded by his fellow Klingons. They're having a... Although, unlike a lot of Klingons that are very loud and rambunctious in their eating and drinking, his party seems a lot more somber and almost maybe giving the impression of like a polar bear lounging somewhere, its teeth bloody sort of feeling. Which, you know, most of the crowd is not terribly on board with, so a lot of people are giving them a bit of space. And they're eating at one of the few surprisingly, they're not eating at any of the Arillis branch office Klingon eating establishments that are here, because Arillis Consortium knows a lot about Klingon food, whether he likes it or not. But he's eating at a different place that serves meat and has brought along his own Klingon blood wine. What was that?
He's from a lesser house.
Sure. I will make my way over towards where he's eating.
Various troops, for lack of a better way to put it, stand up and bar your path, glare at you.
I glare back.
Present security difficulty too.
All right. Military history as a focus here?
Yeah, Andorians and Klingons have met more than once.
Yeah. And a lot of it has been on the field of battle, honestly. I'll spend momentum. Glad I spent momentum. That was so useful.
That's how it happens.
You're able to glare them down back and maintain your stance at them, and you hear him gutturally, the commander, say something in Klingon. Very short command of some kind, and then they just they sneer at you some more, and then they kind of part out of your way.
Yeah. I will head over and sit down next to the commander, and say, how do you pronounce his name again?
Treg.
Commander Treg.
Captain
Welcome
Strelick.
to Halanak Station.
He pokes at the food with his dagger, and then spears it, chews on it slowly as he looks away from you, actually. He's paying attention to the food, not you.
All right. I'm informed you wished to speak with Admiral Pend. As you know, he's no longer here.
Retired.
But
like some old man. And now I
you might be too. He said Pend was tired, right?
Yes.
Retired.
Yeah. You might have too if you'd seen the amount of battle he had.
Oh, shots fired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
To die in battle is the greatest glory, Blue Blood. The fact that your former commanding officer saw fit to quit the field because he couldn't look after his Parmakai is his failing, not mine. But it is to your benefit, I suppose. I am familiar with the Thralics, so I don't take it as an insult that you're here. He finally looks at you.
Let's keep a gaze leveled at him.
My ancestors fought your ancestors, you know.
I'm not surprised.
Painted your wall of heroes a couple times, but you've sent some of ours to the black ships. Perhaps we'll do so again if the universe sees fit.
It so rarely does, though.
Sniveling creatures, these Infospherian. How could you possibly find any use from such a backward and weak civilization?
Rook will kind of smile at that and say, now, Commander, I'm not sure if Klingon judgment has historically proven to be the best at determining which cultures will provide value towards the Federation.
Your Federation has its uses. How else can the many defeat the mighty? Have you run into any trouble, Captain? Any enemies we must need to look out for? I must report to the High Council, after all, of your many glorious successes and such. He drinks at his blood wine.
Let's see. I think that Thralic is actually going to take that as a bit of a Klingon invitation to regale with some small story at least. I'm not sure what exactly it's going to be, but there's enough, I think, that Alex done in Command of the Da Vinci that she's able to find something to...
Presence command, presence security, difficulty of 2.
Okay. I'm going to call on military history again.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sure, I'll throw a momentum at it. Maybe I can generate some. Well, no. In fact, I'm going to spend it in... one to quash the comp. Oh, in fact, I've spent another.
You spend some time regaling him with, the Da Vinci's mission here so far. How very busy it became compared to what everyone thought it was going to be when you rolled in at 60500. Isn't this Da Vinci a crisis and emergency vessel, a paramedical ship?
That's what I thought when I was assigned it as well.
Ha 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 ha. Nothing says a medic can't have a tic-tac in his hand. Or its enemy's throats.
Very true, Commander. Although, I must say, I prefer the Ushan myself.
Suitable for Andorian wrists. Good climbing tool. Oh, you do have us there. Kalas did not see fit for us to climb from our enemies, rather to descend upon them.
Well. A vantage point is not to be overlooked as strategically useful, Commander.
This is true. So, for all your battles, I've been informed that you have a bit of a problem on your station. This is your station. You're not just minding until your early retirement.
No, this is my station now.
And on your station, I believe it was your executive officer, one of these Upantari, found themselves in a bit of trouble. Should I be afraid? Am I in danger, Captain?
Well, I don't think you should be afraid to be in danger, no.
The Klingons around the table seem to be chuckling and sneering. There's some joke here he's hinted at that you're not getting, but it doesn't sound friendly. Well, my intention is to see and inform the great houses on whether or not Halanak Station can be of use to the Empire. We have traders coming and going, but if there's no great conquest to be had, no great threats, and we can let the Federation play at its diplomacy. Or if you're struggling, we can provide some assistance.
Right now, this is the realm of diplomacy, Commander.
Says the captain with an executive officer in a hospital. Says a captain who recently engaged with a new alien species. Made an enemy recently. And nearly instigated a full-on war between your friends. I wonder how far your diplomacy will get you, Captain.
But the antenna kind of narrow in and point, and he says, narrowly avoided is still avoided. From where I'm sitting, I still have a string of victories. My executive officer is perhaps recuperating, but we will find whoever has done this. And the war between these factions here was avoided by said diplomacy.
If you put a blanket over a fire, you may not see the fire, but the blanket catches eventually. I have other meetings today, Captain. I have to let you go. I have other members of states to deal with, so have a nice day. He stands up and just walks away from you. You know, one of the Klingons, one of his aides, kind of tosses a few Duskar's on the table, much to the relief and of the serving staff, who were trying as little as possible to get near his table. The FIS do not deal with Klingons. They deal with Klingons, but they're a lot more intense than they're used to in their realm of the world.
All right. After he stepped away enough that it's not a confrontation, I'll also stand up, But stand up after and look around, see how spooked the other people here are.
Insight security. Opposed.
Okay. Opposed. Interesting. That makes me want to spend resources, Gio. Let's see. Observation focus?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll just roll flat here. Well.
You look around, and people seem relieved because your presence. People know the staff by this point, the Starfleet staff and the Da Vinci staff. So people know who you are. They know Starfleet generally tries to calm things down. Klingons have come here before, and the Upantari and the Savaskas in the room are wary. Whereas some of the Ethereal in the room were watching very intently. They didn't shy away. They wanted to see what was going to happen. And they seemed mildly disappointed that nothing did happen. And for some Alpha Quadrant species, the few that are here, they've met Klingons before. Yeah. Like, just don't mess with the angry bunch of Klingons over there unless they're biting you for the blood wine. At which point, take a pill, then you can have a drink. Yeah. That sort of thing. So the Alpha Quadrant species in the room are a lot more used to this, whereas everyone else, the Infospherians are having a bit more of a time of it. Because there are some Klingons on station, just because of the Aurelius Consortium, but not to this number. Like, and no one with this much prestige behind them and this much gravitas toward them, as far as they've seen anyway. You've probably seen better than this guy, but this is the most intense they've probably encountered for a while. A member of the KDF rather than a civilian, shall we say.
Right. Okay. Well, seeing that feathers aren't too ruffled around here, I will make my way back to my office and notify staff in the command center that I am the term, like, on call, essentially.
Very good.
So, like, available if they need to call me to command. But
we will go with a new scene. Don't get to steal any momentum, sadly.
Haha.
As we look to one of the medical facilities on board station, we look to a slowly waking Captain of Star Seirana.
Hello.
Hello. Last you'd experienced, you were getting up on a on a high point to kind of talk to the crowd to get them to calm down and let them know you're okay, you're not under arrest. And then that's when your whole body just kind of gave out and you kind of puddled to the ground. And now you've woken up in a medical facility here on station. You see little like blinking light alarms around your bed, letting the medical staff know that you've woken up.
Yeah, I'll sort of slowly lift my head up and look around and say, "Oh, what time is it? What happened?"
You're told in Upantari that the current stardate equivalent is 60577. So it's been a few hours since your collapse.
What happened?
Would anyone like to grab a medical character to attend to the captain? Because you're aware that the captain of stars has finally woken up.
Sure. Who we got? Tamina?
Who we have. Tamina is the ship's doctor, but she is a doctor, yeah.
Oh wait, is that Callus? Yeah, Callus is the yeah, they're the CMO.
Of the station, yeah.
Usually played by Seriana, so. Ah, yes, Captain of the Stars, yes. Yes. Very strange case, very strange case. What did happen to the Captain of the Stars?
Reason medicine, difficulty of 3. Assisted by station's sensors medicine.
Emergency medicine or xenobiology?
Xenobiology, yeah. Xenobiology also covers your well, Xenos to you anyway, because Upantari, not Cybercast, so.
Right, okay, so we don't have any momentum, so cautious medicine can't kick in.
Somebody spent them all.
Don't know who.
Really a mystery.
Okay, so let's give you 3 threat for 4 dice. It'd be good to know what happened. I hit the roll.
Plus station?
Certainly. Oh, yeah.
Yep, grab station.
Please do not grab station. It hurts the paint job.
I'm pretty sure the paint job is durable enough for that.
Yeah, you're generally not supposed to touch stations, but if you have to, you're supposed to wear gloves and be very gentle.
Those you leave fingerprints.
Was this sensors or computers? This is from
Sensors. Sensors.
We gained 1.
Gained 1, but have a comp on the floor. You can get rid of that.
Yeah, don't have any way to do that, unfortunately. I mean, I could always have him spend his value, but seems early in the episode for even the medical stand-in to spend a value.
What do you mean you don't want to spend your resources early on in the episode? Why would that be a bad thing?
I don't know, because she might collapse into a flan again any moment.
Nah.
So, from what Dr. Kale is able to determine, it seems that Sayrana had been subjected to some sort of paralytic that caused a systemic paralyzation of Sayrana's entire system, and then that caused everything else to kind of... Upantari generally have to be... They're not always persistently moving, like jumping from foot to foot, but they do generally need to move around for their body to work properly. So freezing them in place kind of causes everything to just kind of thud over and shut off into a sort of emergency mode. If this paralytic had been put into into a Savix cast, it probably wouldn't kill them per se, but it would be deeply unpleasant, whereas Serana was technically dead, but you have to actually like do a lot more than what was done. The paralytic basically just comatose Serana for a certain amount of hours. The problem that came into it was that a lot of the files have been seized by the Ministry of Defense under order. So you have what you got on your scanner and what you personally read, but there's some other information that has been sealed pending investigation.
Oh, well, we're going to protest that. That doesn't sound like something the Ministry of Defense should be able to do.
Yeah, you without even a roll on that, I will tell you for free that his relevant counterpart in the higher government very loudly opposed. Like the minute you brought it up, they brought it up, and it's becoming this whole thing on the parliament floor. Well, on the parliament floor, but it's how that's going to turn out. You're not a politician.
It's ridiculous. That information could have been vital to saving the Captain of the Star's life. It's ridiculous that it was seized for a criminal investigation. The very idea. Besides, aren't the Harmonizers supposed to be taking care of that? Bah. Yes, well, Captain of the Star, Siriana, you were technically dead, but I brought you back. You'll be fine, I guess.
Define technically dead for me, please.
A deep coma. The paralytic caused you to stop moving, and that, of course, caused your body to go into a self-preservation mode that is largely indistinguishable from death. So technically dead. But it's the best kind of dead to be.
I see.
Do I think there's going to be any kind of lingering effects from?
Or momentum, I'll answer.
Sure.
Patient will likely feel some bits of numbness on the outer parts of the exoskeleton, but across the lattice. But that will fade the more they move around. Like over time, that'll go away.
Best thing for you is to get up and get moving. You may notice some numbness and tingling in the extremities of your exoskeleton as the lattice returns to full flexibility. But the best way to get that to happen is to get up and move around. So, if you wind up in a cell, be sure and move around within the confines of the cell.
Yes, well, at this point she will shift out of the bed and slime her way back onto the ground.
That's it.
Excellent. What is my legal status? Am I currently under arrest, or am I free to go?
The Harmonizers have not appeared to arrest you or to serve any sort of warrants, although the Ministry of Defense appears to think that there is a warrant for your arrest, but I don't know about any of that. I just know that the Ministry of Defense is grossly overstepping its authority by seizing medical records and medical information that can be vital to saving lives. I protested in the strongest possible terms. Who do those thugs think they are?
Thank you. Right. We will handle them in due time. And she kind of like rubs her forehead, as if she has a headache.
Walk. I kind of grab one of her tentacles and kind of start moving her around mid-bay.
Thank you.
Movement's the best thing.
Thank you. I am going to go out for a brief jaunt around the station outside of medical. I appreciate all of the work you've done, but I must get moving. And
that's fair, but keep in mind that somebody did this to you. You could be in danger. In fact, I'm sure she is. But anyway.
Yeah, I am going to leave the station, and I am going to go to my personal office to go hide and strategize and plan.
You have an office off the station?
An office on the station, yeah.
You said you said you were going off
Oh,
the station.
oh, sorry.
Like...
No, I meant off the floor to my office.
Yeah, you're able to get to your office without much issue. Probably somewhere on level 6 in this, because level 7's where it's the command nexus, but that's more of a governmental thing rather than station side thing. So I imagine your office is more in the level 6 with the other station staff, like station operational staff. You're able to get to your office. You do feel that the bits as you're moving around, you do feel parts of your body don't register right away. But once you run into something, like it touches something, or it moves somewhere else in your body, you can feel it come back to life again. It's like parts of your for a human, it'd be like parts of your foot going to sleep, and then the minute you step, it wakes up again. It's a disconcerting feeling, but it comes and goes.
Oh, lovely. I'm going to take note of this, and I am going to I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to plan or strategize around this.
Insight command, difficulty of 2. I might be able to help you with this.
With a hint? That'd be lovely. Okay, right. Insight command. I don't have any mental focuses, so I don't think I have a focus here. Why don't you take 3 threat? You said div 2, right?
I did, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stress of the moment seems to be making it rather difficult to formulate a plan. Like, you're Command 4. Like, Captain Sarcerana is a very accomplished command officer. It's just the stress of the situation. This is something that just... I will note for free that this is... You don't get infighting in the free information sphere. It is a research cooperative. The military is a security service for the researchers and the civilians. So usually infighting comes in the form of people arguing that they need more protection or less protection, or it's fine, I can go to the bottom of the ocean, I don't need an escort, and you have to argue fervently, yes you do, and so on. So this is really, to grab a word, this is rather alien situation you've been in. This is something you haven't really encountered before. Others may have, but you're not a politician. Well, not till recently.
Oh God. Okay. In that case, fine. I wasn't going to do this right away because I don't want to bother him. But yes, I will just attempt to schedule a meeting with Harmonizer Kovic.
Kovic, your computer gets blipped at again. You're a very popular harmonizer this evening.
Who is it? I'm not answering it. I'm looking to see who it is.
Captain Sarcerana. Looking to set up a meeting, I believe is the part of the ping.
There was some stuff I wanted to do before she would have woken up. If we can
resolve those.
I decide whether or not I want to talk to her at this point.
So we'll new scene over to Kovic. No momentum. But it's worth pointing out.
So yeah, as soon as was practicable, and perhaps even a little bit before, Kovic is going to leave the crowd control and whatnot in the hands of his capable second, and hightail it up to Sariana's quarters by a back way in the station. like something that's not the most obvious way to get there from here.
Witness con difficulty 2. So a minor flashback to see if Kowick's able to get there rather quickly without drawing too much notice. And I will highlight there'll be no role to get the crowd under control. The crowd at first would be upset that Sirana was hurt, but Infospherians recognize a medical emergency when they see one, so it's one of those, okay, well, the Harmonizer's trying to get the medical people here. Let's not get in their way. Let's try to not make this worse than it is.
Okay, so I want to give you a threat for well-informed here at the top of the scene. One of my first one is going to be, instead of having to do the con roll, how do I get to Seriana's quarters in the most unobtrusive way possible? I know how people move around the station.
I'll
tell you what. Instead, I will use for that same price, 1 to threat. I'll use Constable to create the advantage that I know how to get to Seriana Station and several other places on the station inconspicuously through inconspicuous routes.
Harmonizer pathways and service corridors and such.
Right.
That was an old smuggler's tunnel once. They don't need it anymore.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's how they smuggled their prisoners. I mean, what? Sorry. Yeah, you're able to puzzle one out.
And I'll go ahead and give you another one for well-informed. What's the rumor mill on the station? What's about all this stuff? Seriana, the near riot, the accusations that she's being held. What's the rumor mill saying?
I'll have to ask you to be more specific.
I don't want to.
Because I could give you an answer to that, but it'd be so vague. I don't think it'd be useful to you. Because I'd be covering a lot of stuff in a single question with a single answer.
What is the leading theory about what's going on in the rumor mill? Like, what's the conspiracy theory that is taking the most hold about this whole situation with Seriana and the request for her arrest but all that?
Alien interference, whether it's the Romulans, the Federation, or the Klingons.
Okay.
Some major power. They don't think it's a minor power doing this, but they think a major power is messing with the Free Information Sphere's internal affairs.
Okay. That's actually a really handy bit to know. And second question is, see, how do I want to phrase this one?
Carefully.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
What moves have the military made since Seriana went down? Yeah. Not military terms, but in terms of this civil matter, and the warrant they have requested.
The general populace is largely ignorant of this particular move, but certain parts of it, like the let's put the name in front of me again.
I got some friends in the military,
The Electoral Freedom Network kind of got wind of it and made it known. And the Minister of Defense and his staff are working very hard to, within the bounds of the Free Information Sphere's laws, is trying to quiet it down. But so much so, you've heard that there's a meeting between the Minister of Defense and the Director of Intelligence. But the Electoral Freedom Network is very confident that they did nothing illegal and they were standing up for someone who they believe was being politically attacked. So the military or the hasn't been doing anything overt. It's a lot of insinuations, a lot of guesses of what they're doing, but no one knows precisely. But they do. But there is that the big highlight is the Minister of Defense and the Director of Intelligence are likely meeting soon because what the Minister of Defense is trying to do is something the Director of Intelligence is supposed to do. So they're crossing roles.
Okay. So yeah, then on to Seriana's quarters.
In sneak mode or like you sneaking ahead? Yep. You have the advantage, so I won't make you do that roll.
And then I will...
You get to a locked door.
Yep. I'm the harmonizer. I will go through that locked door.
So you take up your badge, essentially, and wave it over the door, and it pings you through. And the computer logs that a harmonizer opened this door.
Yeah, that's fine.
What does this room look like, by the way, Serrano? These are your quarters that the harmonizer's stepping into.
Oh, yeah. Very garishly decorated. Excuse me. Lots of bright colors, lots of artwork in famous paintings and artwork created by artists throughout Upantari's history. Maximalism is the key word here. It looks like there is not one spot of empty space. And I would say very prominently displayed towards the center is a big display case with all of her gifts that she's acquired throughout the years, knickknacks and trade goods and items that are all assorted together in a way to, be shown off and so that you can easily admire, her vintage artifacts.
Kovic will duck under the various banners hanging from the ceiling and
no banners.
Head to her office space.
No banners. Are we sure this is her office?
For public use. Well, why would I need a banner for in private use?
I'm going to try and search to see if I can find out what I can dig up on what she was doing that caused this whole thing to spark off. I want to see if I can figure out what she was looking into, whether that's her terminal, whether that's, Meta, I know there's a pile of shredded paper somewhere.
That's right. Yeah.
Reason security difficulty too.
You just find the printer logs of documents.
Right. Okay, observation for a focus? Or investigative techniques?
Investigative techniques.
Okay. Intuitive.
I'll take that. And actually, quick clarification, because in my head, I had it such that at least for the FIS, there was people's quarters and then their offices. There are two different places. So, but I don't know if Seirana has that separation or if her office is part of her quarters.
I would say the station is big enough and she's important enough that she probably does keep the two separately, although she does her work in her office. So I would say all of the descriptors we described before would be true of her office space, because she'd want the display case in her office space to show off to people who might be meeting with her, and her quarters are probably just for personal living.
So where were you doing your investigation?
In the office.
Oh, okay. I was just assuming it was like a home office thing.
No, it's called work-life separation. You don't scheme against the government at home. It disrupts the psyche.
That's just me thinking that Okay.
The sneakier place would have been near a home.
Right. So okay, yeah, I'll search around here.
So I'll highlight to you just because you would know that around in level 6 where the offices would be, you'd see a lot more FIS Starfleet people, whereas in level 5 you'd see like regular people who work on the station, people who just live here and work here. So that's why I wanted to know where you were as well. I was like, those are two different people who will react to your presence.
So yeah, in that case, since there's not like a home office set up, then I would have gone to the office. Very good. Yeah, if I need to make a sneaky roll.
No, you're fine. You're the harmonizer, so that's not weird. It's more if you were in the housing area, that would make people more. If someone spotted you, it'd be more curious because what's wrong. Whereas you're in the Starfleet section, it's like the station operations. Yes, the harmonizer comes here. Part of his job is to work with the station staff.
So yeah, also, it's much less of an expectation of privacy in the office, so that worked out for me too. So yeah, I will. Same thing. I'm looking for if I can anything that might be left about what she was looking into and who and why. And
reason, security, difficulty 2.
Okay. Save roll. Got a free hit from intuitive. I'll give you 1 threat for 3 dice. Whoa. So that's 6 hits total.
So freaking generate 5.
Search.
You see in the computer the same stuff that Sayrana tried to give you when you met, because she would have pulled from her computer files and then ran into them deleted. So the computer reflects that. So this drive here as well seems to have a similar issue. When you check for like other data strips and printouts and such, you look around and you don't see any. Like there's others that probably Sayrana has for general office work, but the ones related to the investigation she was into, you look around and find that they have been thoroughly destroyed in the shredder. Or that's the presumption. It's like there is a significant amount of paper in there that indicates a lot of material was destroyed recently.
Okay, so I'm going to find, based upon Saryana's description of her office, I'm going to lay you money that there's a pretty large gift bag or two tucked away somewhere. And I'm going to fill a large gift bag or two with all the stuff that's in the shredder. Any difficulties there?
No.
Okay. And since they're gift bags, I'll make sure they look nice and neat. So it's just the harmonizer going about, the Upentaria gifting customs, or stealing stuff from Saryana's office, whichever you prefer. And I will head back to my office.
And you'll have one more roll before you get pinged to do something.
Okay.
What are you up to in your office? In the Harmonizer's office?
Old school. Using a air-gapped hand terminal to scan and start piecing together these shredded documents. The haze of dope stick smoke grows thicker and thicker as time passes.
If you destroy all of my exotic plants that were shipped in here from various far-off lands and require very specific humidity, I will be very mad at you.
Oh, I'm back in my office.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Don't smoke in my office. How did you know?
I mean, you're allowed to destroy your ones on your own time.
Oh, and he was totally smoking in your office. I mean, there's...
Oh, God.
The plants are fine. It
smells like dope in here.
It's carbon dioxide. It's good for them.
Insight plus security difficulty 4, assisted by computers plus security. The high difficulty is that the Shredder is actually pretty good at destroying documents.
No, that's fair. Forensics
Naturally.
and criminalistics.
Yep. Thankfully for you, so you run us on a Starfleet officer, because Starfleet officers, if they did that, they just throw it in the replicator and have it disassembled and put back to gray matter.
Okay, I'm gonna toss this one at you.
Mm.
Iosian.
Ow. You tossed it. Anyway.
They
Iosian?
possess
Sorry.
keen intellects and a natural proclivity for imitation. So maybe that helps with pattern recognition while I'm putting these things together.
I'll take it, yeah.
Okay.
This is where Kova is acting very distinctly Iosian rather than human. It's like, a human couldn't do it this quickly, this accurately.
Right. Okay. So let us spend... none of those values really work, so let's just do a full mit with... it's 5 momentum and 1 threat for a full mit.
Good.
Well, Cody's hot for the moment.
Or were these rolls
That's
Saturday?
6, right? I should gain 2 off that.
Plus station.
Oh, yeah. Alex BRB, so I'll grab it. If I can find it. There it is. Oh, was that roll again for the station? Computer security. I got it. Well, okay. Before I roll, I specifically said I was using an air-gapped scanner rather than the station's computer system. So, would I get an assist from the station?
I suppose not. No, you're right.
Okay.
Here's the 2 momentum so far, by the way, because Cap's back.
Cool.
Yeah, that's how Big Brother gets you. They offer you assistance on your rolls, and now suddenly you're giving up all your personal data.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to piece together what Sarah's looking into, and as I recall, the stuff you just shredded was all stuff you're looking into about the Minister of Defense, wasn't it?
It had nothing directly to do with her extracurricular political activism. It was entirely trying to learn who the Minister of Defense was, because I wouldn't have written this down, but my specific interest was seeing if they were approachable to be recruited for the cause. But I imagine pretty quickly, once I realized how mysterious they were, it would have been a lot more of well, who the fuck is this person? They're my boss, near the top of the chain, and yet no one knows anything about them. So nothing about this is, I believe, immediately suspicious, other than the fact that she was trying to look into who this mysterious person was. And I don't think she got very far.
Yeah. So you can see evidence of that she tried to look into the guy, but it turned into a lot of, other than getting the name and species, it very quickly petered out almost immediately.
And I'm assuming that's unusual for a cabinet level minister.
Yeah, the hints in the name, free information sphere. The very little in the information sphere is secret, unless it's absolutely positively necessary. Certain military secrets or certain intelligence things, certain harmonizer movements, maybe. But generally, if you're part of if you're a rolled person, you have a title, then you are someone who everyone wants to know about.
Right. You at least have some pretty extensive public biography.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
It'd be like trying to look up someone at a university. Except the university has a paramilitary force, but it's still the head of security would have his own bio that you could look up. You know? That's around that time as you finally stacked it all together, that's when you get pinged by Sayrana.
Okay. Before I pick it up, seeing who it is, I'm doubting I can put off actually submitting the warrant for too much longer, or making the call to go, no, this is not, the harmonizer's office is not going to file this warrant for reasons.
Yeah, you will have to make a call eventually, because if you drag too long, eventually it becomes an assembly issue.
Right. Okay. So yes, I will answer the ping. Sorry about the delay there, Saryana, but
Hi, Kovuk. I just wanted to touch base with you about the ongoing investigation and what our next step should be. I am conscious again, and I am moving towards my office now. If you want to meet with me anytime soon, that would be great. I must say, after today's incident, I believe it would be best if I were to enter custody, for my own safety, and well, to comply with the law of the land, as it were. Okay, talk to you soon. And then the message ends.
oh. Well, she's going to smell that I've been in her office. Okay. Do I want to get the warrant through or quash it?
I'll let you percolate on that as we'll swing over to Ryloff and what he's up to after the incident flared up and then very quickly was tamped down a bit by the Harmonizer's office and the medical staff. But you are informed that Captain Thralic is up and around.
I mean, lovely. She wasn't particularly down. She was just occupied with other duties, such as informing the temporal people what you know from two different timelines, because he doesn't know.
Yeah. I feel like there was a very real possibility that I was also supposed to report that to Rylov, but then it was like conflict of interest stuff, and that's why.
Oh yeah, he already knew because of the situation, how it resolved. He just can't debrief you on it because he was...
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so he has... I don't think he has any particular station duties at present. Other than just standard state liaison stuff. Someone dropped Sayrana, in some manner. Or is that not known that she could have just fainted as far as he's aware? Question mark. How aware is he of what has happened to Sayrana?
You know that Sayrana's back up and around, but the specific medical information hasn't been publicly released.
Yeah. Okay. So Rylov's in the odd limbo of, I don't know what's going on, so I'm just doing things. There's a Klingon on the station. I don't want to meet him, or even be seen anywhere near him.
The feeling's mutual. No.
I'm sure it is. What's going on with our ninth and the Harbingers and Alpha species thing? That whole case? That's probably the closest thing he's probably trying to keep track on.
Give me Reason Command, difficulty 2, assisted by Computers Command. As you're working with your counterparts through Starfleet, and Starfleet working with their counterparts at the Free Information Sphere.
Yeah, also because he might need to appear in that to say X, Y, or Z because of his involvement with the situation. You said Reason Command?
Yes, I did.
Given the way you described trying to keep track of this, team dynamics potentially?
Sure.
Given I have to apparently go through, I think, 2 different teams of people to make sure I am properly looped in. Romulan State Liaison would be why that is even a thing, I presume. And I don't believe any of the being cautious or wary traits are hurting me, but I can't imagine they would help me.
Not at this stage, no.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure I'm not cheating you on anything.
I will pare back one difficulty because of Fleet Liaison. An average Romulan your fellow Romulan could look into this if they wanted to, but they'd have to they'd have to show reason to know. Whereas you're a liaison officer, you're here to know things.
Gotcha,
you have a role.
Lovely. Difficulty 2, correct? Or difficulty 1 now?
1 now.
Yeah, I'll give you a momentum. And there we are. We made 3, actually.
It seems that the case has been relegated between. Actually, that's part of the problem, as I recall. The issue is kind of being bounced around a lot between the various ministries and directorates within the free information sphere. So the case that they're on is actually stalled because everyone wants to talk to these people and deal with these harbingers and the harbinger question. And that alone, like when you'd be called up, and you are on the docket of people that people want to talk to, along with a bunch of other people, but like it's a lot of we don't know. Before the attack, it was already kind of up in the air when that was going to happen. Sometime this year would be nice, sort of thing. But now there's this whole kerfuffle between the Minister of Defense, Minister of External Relations, Director of Intelligence. Supreme Justice is trying to. It's supposed to be a justice thing. It's supposed to be a harmonizer judicial thing, and it's kind of spun into this whole fiasco it's not really landing anywhere. And now there's a question of whether or not Captain Sarsay Rana and her connections were somehow involved. And so the short answer is a lot of we don't know because we haven't talked about it, and we're likely not going to talk about it more until the most recent crisis is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Although you do note that it looks like the most recent look into this, you're not the first fleet liaison to look into it. The Commander Chegg also has looked into it as well.
Curious. Okay. Might I ask what how the individuals are being handled? I forget her name again, and I'm trying to find the right page. Angela and Ninth. Are they, I'm guessing, confined to quarters type deal, rather than allowed free roam?
For Memento, I'll answer that.
Yeah.
They're being treated more. At present, they're being treated like visiting dignitaries or visiting diplomats. But they're also under guard. So it's very confusing because either if you're a diplomat, you're a diplomat. If you're under custody, you're under custody. So the nebulous situation is kind of making it seem like they're welcome guests who are also under guard. You know?
Yeah, kind of understandable given their slightly abnormal situation. So But they are like being watched. There's like people are aware of where they are, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Okay. His brief concern was someone trying to, have a distraction to, in some way, get to them, or that style of thing. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Actually, if he can, without stepping on too many people's toes, simply go through and review or inspect some of the precautions that are in place or might not be in place, just as clearly he's just helping out, given the particular implications of this investigation to the wider FIS.
Currently, they're being held. This won't cost you anything extra because it's just clarifying what you already know. They're currently being held in the on level 2 in the diplomatic nexus, but they have free information defense force personnel guarding the door, and they're basically being given they're also being they're letting the station operations know that they're there, and they have a not unless Captain Tharlik ordered such, they would have asked the computer to have a running watch on their rooms to make sure that nothing odd has happened. Not so much to inform people who don't have any business knowing what's going on, but as a sort of, hey, if something happens in this room, computer, can you tell operations that something weird happened in there? Like giving it a more escalated security status, basically. Which the diplomatic suites, that's generally what happens anyway. That's normal. They just turned it up a little bit for sort of treating them like VIPs in that sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it seems that this request to do that has been done by almost every ministry that exists in the free information sphere. Everyone's like, can you do that? We already did it. Can you make sure to do that? It's already been done. Can you do it? Yes, we've done it. Please stop asking us.
Lovely. Well, I suppose I should look into who this Chegg guy is then. Because I don't know him. He's a Klingon. He just showed up and he's looking into this, which is unusual, and my guess would be because, oh look, violent. What is their potential?
How do you look into
him? Initially, it would be pulling up what is known records, and he has access to what the Star Empire knows on him, if anything, and what the Federation, which by virtue means what the Klingons know on him. He has access to quite a few details from different perspectives. So official channels, but if he can obfuscate the fact that he was doing it, then lovely.
Reason plus command or security, difficulty 4, assisted by computers plus relevant discipline. The high difficulty is that this person is a High Council, an agent of the High Council, so his files are a little more strange. Actually, I will highlight this is strange that his files are this quiet. Usually, a High Council person gets there because they're acclaimed. They're very honorable people. So this guy being a little more circumspect is odd.
Yes, that raises my curiosity about probably intelligence direction or lined, because those are the most. The most classified Klingons are the ones that are in intelligence.
And I will note that you can succeed at cost, because there would be something public about him, because otherwise he wouldn't really have a rank in the KDF.
I do have mistrust Klingons as a trait that might not be great, or
that will increase comp.
Yeah. Investigative techniques as a focus.
Yep.
Subtle. That would That's for trying not to be detected, but I don't know if that's part of this role.
No.
Yep, that might be for a different thing. I can't think of any of those. Nope. Okay, so I will give you then. I'll use security because that's a good trait for me. I'll use 1 threat, 2 momentum. Okay, I do have a reroll because I use security. Go away. Stop with the chuckling.
Ships, computers plus security. Station. Sorry.
Got it. There's security.
7 on 4 is 3 generated.
Lovely.
Commander Chegg is the House Intelligence Agent for House Bara, a minor but old Klingon house out on the frontier. He is he is noted for his exceptional battle abilities, but also his exceptional understanding of the sciences, and quite. He kind of got pushed through much. He got pushed through by a political push by certain members of the High Council who are of the traditionalist faction rather than the progressive faction. Like House of Gitta did not want him here. They want, if someone was going to look into it, House of Gitta will look into it. This is their territory. But it was, some battles just aren't worth fighting. Look, if the guy wants to look around, fine. He can look. Whatever. Just, we're busy. So he made a big stink, a lot of strings are pulled to make sure he got here. And the reason why it's so, and largely you can tell just by reading in between the lines, and that Hasukita wasn't thrilled to have an intelligence agent, a house intelligence guy, what they would call a house spy master, being involved. But they're not looking to House of Gitta stuff. They're looking to the free information sphere. So it's kind of hard to tell them to go away. On the Romulan side of things, he is the sort who gets personally involved in his assignments, which, in a strange way, Romulan intelligence and even the Tal Shiar, what little the Tal Shiar files you have, because after a certain point you didn't get to look at them anymore, because the state doesn't get to look. But the state is aware of Commander Chegg. He is an intelligence officer, a spy master who will get his hands dirty. He will get personally involved. He's not afraid to get in there, but he is wise enough to keep distance from an operation.
Mm-hmm. So, one, I fucking called it when I said he was intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
2, if he's present, he likely has some operation, at least in the sector, if not on the station. That second part is an assumption based off of his personal choices previously.
And you get a rough feel for what the guy's specializations are, his fortes, if you will.
One second. Really? Oh. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. No. Okay, do I have a need to spend any momentum to have my actions be harder to discern or
For 2.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like for the intelligence guy to not know or have a harder time knowing I was looking into him. you know, as much as it would be funny to frame the Tel Shiar guy, I'm currently playing nice, so I shouldn't do that. As funny as that would be.
And we will actually, new scene, cycle our way over to Commander Haifa, off on Zindi Prime.
Hopefully we make it back.
So, give me control engineering difficulty of 2. To kind of fix the problem that you know about. This normally would be harder, but this is a prototype. The whole point of prototypes is so you can see what breaks and then fix it again. You know what I mean?
All right, focus on EPS.
Yep.
Click on assist.
Sure. Doing control engineering or?
Yep. Then generated 3. Yeah, you're able to get the Hyper Prototype Alpha. You're able to get the life support overcharge system sorted by just rewiring things differently and getting the tertiaries in place better, the secondaries a bit better. That should cover that particular issue.
Is this a temporary fix, or is this fixing the issue for the prototype?
This is fixing the issue for the prototype. You're not sure if it's a permanent fix until you actually fly again. But everything you've done so far, there's nothing else really you two can do, as far as you can tell, until something else breaks. But this should work.
All right. All right, then let's. Gonna get because Haifa's trying to be aware that Click is not a hologram, so we'll stay long enough for Click to do biological things like sleep, and then we'll come back. So, but I don't think we have anything to do before coming back, other than just a little bit of time.
Okay. The night is spent just a lot of Zindi kind of praising you, and Starfleet people also going, hey, that's really cool. We didn't know you guys were coming here. And you kind of get a similar experience on your way back as you're left by Zindi Space Dock, as Zindi Prime Space Dock, as they watch you guys prepare to get off of dry dock and set forth again. Federation news agencies kind of film it. You can see a couple ships kind of hovering by and watching you, and probably recording this for holographic posterity.
Sweet.
This is Indie Prime Space Dock 2 Haifa Prototype Alpha. You are cleared to leave system at your leisure.
The player cannot think of anything impressive to say at this moment. Can I get a presence command or something roll?
Sure.
To, I don't know, come up with a, one small step for man kind of saying.
I'll call it presence command difficulty 2, as you're kind of think of something poignant to say.
Focus in cultural studies. I know I know the kind of things that the Zindi think are cool, or I know a way to phrase it so that when it's translated into different Zindi language is, it'll still make sense.
Mm-hmm. I'll take that, yeah.
I guess not.
One small step for holograms, one giant leap for everybody else. You were kidding, right? But no, you're able to. You don't offend anybody or nothing. It just doesn't. You kind of struggle to think of something, but yeah.
I guess that's fitting. I actually did. Let me punch it.
You pop out of existence, and then half-hour mark comes up. Both you and Click are just ready to go, I imagine, because that's when bad things happened last time. Yeah. You hear a lot of buzzing coming from the wires back there, but, no, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Something to do with the power system not interacting with your, with the quantum slipstream drive. There was some weird loop that was occurring that you didn't anticipate until you actually got into it. You get the feeling that this is something that may come up on longer jumps, but you get the feeling it's something you can tinker and fine-tune to get it exactly right. But you broke it. You've made a far more safer quantum slipstream jump that broke the 30-minute mark rather than the much more perilous one.
Well, yeah, just gotta finish the tests, write up a document, and Captain Haifa
Captain?
of Utopia Planitia, here I come.
Oh. So you're arriving the morning after, basically?
It's a day after I left.
Yeah, so it's probably something like 7-8 or so, 7-5.
Yeah.
This is Halanak Station to Haifa Prototype Alpha. Welcome back.
Glad to be back, and everyone from Zindi Prime says hello. Requesting docking. Let's go ahead and bring her straight into the dry dock.
And thus, you're able to return back to Halanak Station. The deck has a lot of staff there, but both the engineering staff, Starfleet, and Free Information Sphere, as excited as everyone is, there is a certain level of safety involved of keeping everyone back and away from the active shuttle. Please go away. This is an active dry dock. Please shoo. But hey, you can look from over there. That's fine, but shoo. Yeah, you're able to return safely.
Yeah, Haifa kind of looks down and thinks, I don't look particularly like a test pilot, so I'm gonna give you a momentum to shift my body to look like I have some complex test pilot uniform with tubes and pipes. Yeah, and a helmet. And
you suddenly look like you've come out of Star Wars rather than Star Trek.
With a white jumpsuit that Voyager people wore around.
I can't explain what any of these straps or tubes do, but they look cool as hell.
Strange, like corded piping and stuff going around there.
Yeah, you have to turn off the targeting computer and fly the ship manually.
Well, no, I am the targeting computer.
Yeah, that's what Luke said too.
An opening 2 meters wide, but no. But for all the, you're able to reattire yourself. What do you do?
I'll go out and give a few interviews before making an appropriate excuse to go see Thralic.
Yeah, various news agencies talk with you. The Fredericton News Network, the Federation News Network.
All the way from Nova Scotia.
I mean, heck,
What is
you know
this
what?
local news?
They're a long way from home. Look, people got sick and tired of us talking about fishing boats all the time. No. But no, the Federation News Network comes by.
The fishing boats don't even like bring fish in to eat anymore. They just catch them and release them. There's even less to talk about.
But they caught one this big.
It just tested the QSD, and he's here to ask how the fishing on Cindy Prime is.
You spent all your luxury credits for a QEC link to an alien spaceport for the quantum slipstream drive to ask the test pilot about fishing on Cindy Prime. Yes. What?
Look, they're very passionate about news, and this is a legacy news organization that's been around for centuries. They're actually really prestigious nowadays.
They probably have a museum. But yeah, no, you get and then there's representatives from various branches of the Free Information Sphere government. You have invitations by the chief scientists of the Free Information Sphere, the head research of the chief of the Free Information Sphere, the chief engineer of the entirety of the Free Information Sphere wants to talk about this sort of thing. Which that person you would have, I don't have a name for them at the moment, but you would have already been talking to that person back and forth anyway, because they're the person who got you the quantum slipstream stuff that the Free Information Sphere uses. So. You have a lot of meetings in your future, and you're making a lot of friends, or at least people who want to ask you a million questions. Which same difference, right?
Yeah, I'll probably try to put together a benefit/dinner for the Friends of Integration and Cooperation.
Give me insight plus security, difficulty of 3 to see if anything odd pops out to you in the crowd. There may be more that meets the optic sensor.
Starfleet Protocol, holographics, impersonation, cultural studies, any of these?
Impersonation.
All right. Calm under pressure.
I would
Lots
take
of people
that.
are asking my attention.
Definitely.
And what was the difficulty?
200. No. The hell did I actually say though?
I mean, if it was Chio or Oda trying to hit something with a bat with, that might be doable, but it's not going to be doable for Commander Haifa.
3.
All right. 2 momentum. 3 momentum. 3 momentum.
Generate 2. You notice that among the crowd of people, there's all kinds. I mean, there's Free Information Sphere people who want to talk to you. There's people from the Alphabetic Quadrant who want to talk to you. There's a Shackleton species. You don't know who they are. They're just here and they happen to want to ask questions, but that sort of thing. But the people who look like they belong, but you know enough about impersonation when someone's trying to belong and not actually supposed to be here. You see a few Romulans who are acting in a way that doesn't belie news people. I mean, Romulans have that reputation of being especially intelligence-oriented and such, but or spy work, but they do actually have regular news people who just take news. But But with that role, you're able to see that there's a few people who are taking far more notes and are interviewing people in the crowd or taking recordings of people in the crowd who are talking to you. You also see some members of a there's these betazoids you see in the crowd who seem to be part of some news network or another, or some scientific journal of some such. You can see like a little badge that they're wearing. And they seem to be doing the same thing, but that also strikes you as odd, because if Starfleet Intelligence wanted to watch what you're doing, they have your logs. You're a Starfleet officer. They don't need to go through this trouble. They would just have people, and there actually are going to be people who are going to debrief you in the future. So who the hell are those two? So you notice there's at least two groups who are taking a special notice of who you're talking to and the people around you, and you in particular. Though notably no one's being allowed near the shuttle for security reasons and safety reasons.
I go back to the shuttle, trying to appear as I'm doing routine work, and I'll call Rylov.
This is the morning after, so I'm not sure where Ralph is this morning.
The morning after. Probably stopped off briefly at the Harmonizer's office just to leave a pad for Kovic that's just like, hey, here's who's on your station in regards to the Klingon intelligence guy. And his particular proclivities. And then is back to working as a liaison in his office, probably. There's not terribly much going on for him to do, so, catch up on that.
So, maybe on the Da Vinci?
His office would be on the station.
Oh, okay.
He's also the liaison to Halanak. He's yeah. Don't worry, it's fine. It's like level 6, right? Or a different level?
Yeah, it'd be level 6 because your fleet liaison to the Starfleet people that are here.
Yep. See, he's level 6.
So your communicator pings at you there, Ryloff.
Centurion, go ahead.
Centurion, this is Commander Haifa. We've returned in the dry dock. I have suspicious groups of Romulans and Betazoids posing as news crews down here. I'm about to take the prototype to the Da Vinci and lock it down because they look suspicious to me. I think you should investigate this, sir.
Very well, Commander. Do you have these just distant observations, or do you have any identity?
If you can pull up the cameras, I can identify the individuals for you real quick.
We'll see if we can do that. Probably requires
can we
permission from
link
a harmonizer, but yeah.
Well, can we link terminals real quick and just like pull? Well, yeah. Well, I'm the chief engineer, and this section of the station
Oh, yeah,
is
if it's
under
your cameras, then yeah.
my jurisdiction. I mean, not security wise, but
No, I get you. We can probably do it and then ask forgiveness later because it's still technically under our job description.
So you're capturing the video feeds?
Well, just bringing up the video feeds and then me pointing out this person, this person, this person, and this person.
When you pull up the feeds, you see 315.798 on the screen, and nothing else.
Is that an error code?
Technically, but that has to do with mixing the gray matter in a replicator with your phaser intake manifold. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It's a thing that could theoretically happen, but it's a nothing code.
And I'm guessing doesn't have a particular meaning to Rylov, or does it?
Reason, security, difficulty of 5, but you can succeed at cost. It's just a matter of how much information you know.
Okay. Okay. I'll throw some focuses at you to see which one might be applicable. There's precautions. If it has anything to do with that.
No,
not.
I don't think so.
Didn't think so. Investigative techniques.
I wouldn't take it.
Star Navy protocols is also probably not, but I've got to try.
No.
No. Okay. I don't believe I have an applicable focus unless tactical systems is somehow relevant. That is the last one I will have.
No.
Nope. Okay, I don't have a focus. You said reason security?
Yes.
Okay. The trait of wary, potentially.
Yeah, that might fire here.
Okay. The talent of wary being to attempt a task to notice or detect an enemy or hazard.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the selling point on that one is probably more hazard at the moment, isn't it?
Of a sort, yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. So, difficulty down by 1, but that is an extra reroll from wary. I will give you... We'll do this, so you get 2 instead of 3, and then I'll give you 3 momentum, and we'll do that. And I've got 2 rerolls, but it was div 4, so that is a success. Oh yeah, god damn! All of those, so many of those would be crits out of focus.
Actually, one thing I'll point out, because I forgot about who these people were. One thing that the other thing that number would come up for you, Haifa, before I fill in Ryloff here, that number would also correlate with the frequency at which a dilithium is securely contained in a warp core. But again, in the current context, doesn't make any sense. But that's the other reason that number would come up, is that's what you would dial in most modern warp cores to that particular magnetic frequency and dialage to maintain stability.
Maybe a dog whistle for people who are anti-quantum slipstream drive.
For Ryloff, you recognize that this style of erasing something and leaving that set of numbers as a group, a Federation hacking group that has been around for over a century, who goes around hacking into various security systems to, one, show that they can do it, but also usually to make some sort of political point, or usually against various power structures. It's not, they usually don't aim it at Starfleet or the Federation government. They'll aim it at like things that would be of economic importance to people, to highlight, to try to draw attention to an issue. And they have been known to get entangled with Klingon intelligence and Romulan intelligence because they'll learn stuff and then try to make what is secret known to the wider world. So the few do not hoard information.
Which is odd that they'd be acting on a station belonging to the free information sphere.
Mm-hmm. And actually, that's one thing I'll highlight to you as well. This is atypical of their process. If they were going to do this, they would do it on like the shuttle or in the data files that Haifa has or something of that nature, not messing with security feeds. Like, they'd only do that if they were trying to hide their own people, but they work remotely. They don't go to places in person. They don't need. That's actually why they're really hard to catch, because they work over the subspace relay network. And out here, there isn't a whole lot of that. The QEC is the only one, and that is very monitored by the Free Information Sphere. It's not something you just chime into and hope for the best.
And Ralph will be filling Haifa in on this, more or less.
All right. Haifa's going to take off and go dock on the Da Vinci.
We easily done.
Is our good harmonizer present?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations for getting more information from Rylov, just because it's your station security technically, and he's not allowed to just go around shooting people or arresting them, which is preferable. In regards to that route that was just explained, what their normal measure of operations is, how this is abnormal of their operations, and the suspicion from Commander Haifa in regards to, it was a couple of Romulan individuals and who else, sorry?
And 2 Betazoids.
2 Betazoids. Which also sounds unusual for that group to be composed with Romulan. So that might be 2 separate things, or someone using a cover. We don't know enough to have any accusations leveled. But
What's
it is
the
something
name?
else parallel.
What's the name of the group that they're supposedly representing?
I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I lost it again.
It's that one that we had to deal with. I bet. You remember that they pissed
Hackers?
us so much?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
hackers.
The
They
White
stole all our
Hats?
money.
Is it the same group?
Yeah, it is.
I forgot the name of it. Yep. The White Hats.
Kryptonauts.
Kryptonauts.
He's, Rylov's willing to assist if needed, or would be desirable, because he doesn't have anything else going on, but he's keeping Kovic in the loop of 2 different things now. Congratulations.
Also, no
You're saying
Kovic.
these guys.
Also,
Go
no
ahead.
Kovic. They have a meeting with Thralic this morning.
Right. But you're saying these groups are not operating on their usual modus operandi.
This seems to be outside of their standard operation. And it seems particularly unusual that they'd be acting in a place called the Free Information Sphere. So that aligns with their goals. If anything, you would think they'd negotiate with you for just openly.
Right. And the security cameras that were out, where were they located? Or that were giving that weird error code?
That would be the docks. Unless
Okay.
I'm mistaken, but it should be the docks looking at them.
Yeah.
More specifically, were they docks assigned to the Federation? Is that where Haifa docked the?
No, it was the dry dock.
So level 1, 2. Because it was a joint project between the Free Information Sphere and Starfleet to build the shuttle.
Okay.
So it's, I believe, technically an
As
FIS-owned vessel present.
Well, as a joint operation, then I would say probably the harmonizers and Starfleet share security for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that correct, GM?
That'd be correct. And that's why they didn't oppose... they didn't no way wanted to oppose Haifa moving it. It's like, you think the shuttle's in danger? Go ahead. You know where to put it. It's not like you're taking off with it. You're putting it somewhere safe.
So yeah, I will ask if Rylov would kind of take charge of investigating this security breach, and just keep me in the loop as part of our cooperative deal with that. So, basically, my theory is that if this is a shared project with shared security oversight, then okay, Rylov's checked with me. I've said, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and check it out. I've got meetings with Thralik and all this other junk going on. Keep me in the loop. That kind of frees up Rylov to do his deal.
Yeah. So Rylov will acknowledge and he'll be going to the dry dock, actually. Even if they're not there, there's routes he can pursue.
You start heading down there. I'll note as well, Kovic, that as an extra bit of complication, you have a query of progress from the Ministry of Defense regarding the warrant.
And Ralph will cue in Haifa of, we have permission to investigate. So that's Haifa's cued in on what's going on still.
All right. Well, all of this investigation is beyond me, so I'm going to go see Thralik.
Yeah.
Because the appropriate people are now doing the appropriate job. Intelligence is not Haifa's job.
Yeah.
So before I head off to see Thralik, which I don't know if this is the same meeting or a different meeting, that's Haifa's.
Different meetings.
So, okay. Does Kovic have a justifiable reason to not file the warrant, to turn down the application? I mean, you said there were some irregularities in his presentation, but that was more all the I's weren't dotted and the T's weren't crossed. Is there anything else?
You get the feeling that you can, as your role as harmonizer, you can contest that you don't think it's valid, or you don't wish to serve it for XYZ reasons. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Minister of Defense agrees with you and says, okay, the harmonizer says no, I guess because you can ask the harmonizer, could you do something for me? I think this is wrong, and the harmonizer has some discretion to go no. Same way the Minister of Defense. If you said, hey, Minister, can I have a starship go watch a planet? Maybe, but it's my job to decide whether or not I do that. So you could say no, but you get the feeling with this with something that's important like a warrant. He's not asking you to look into something minor. He wants you to arrest somebody. If he doesn't care that much about it, he might just let it go. If he really cares about it, he might make it an assembly issue or presiding speaker issue.
Okay.
Beyond your head.
Okay, so I'll send back a terse message that the warrant is in process. And then what I'm going to do is contact a friend or two in the, what is it called? The Justice League. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to get the man on the case.
Yeah, a friendly judge or whatever. Because first I want to get a warrant issued. I'm going to give him both warrants, but I'm going to request that he fast track a warrant to forensically examine the Captain of the Stars computers and handhelds and all that. Because I'm thinking that when I looked at it and saw that none of what Siriana was talking about was there also wasn't any kind of evidence that she'd actually been hacking into the minister's systems as they claimed, right?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, if I get that warrant first, and then I'm going to take Nymoth and myself to Siriana's quarters to serve that warrant to start working on the computer thing, and then the arrest warrant will follow sometime, while we're in there or whatever. But I want to get working on the computer stuff first.
Give me control security difficulty of 2. You know what? I'll spend 2 more to make it a little harder. Difficulty 3 to kind of get everything sequenced in the right way, so you don't run into You'll succeed. You can succeed at this at cost, but if you you might run into some political ramifications if you biff this.
Fair enough. Okay, I don't think I actually have any focus that's going to apply here. Okay. Let's see if I have a value to spend towards. Well, oh, it's just difficulty 2, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so intuitive as a trait, like I kind of know how to talk to the people I'm needing to talk to, and
I wouldn't say so here. This is a lot of lining up all your ducks bureaucratically and administratively.
okay, fair enough.
You make sure to cross all your T's and all your I's so you don't get yelled at later.
No, fair enough. Okay, this is not my strongest roll, so I am going to give you 3 threat for 4 dice.
Oh, and computer security as well. You're using a computer to do this stuff, I imagine.
Yep.
Rather than a bullhorn and a loud voice.
Right. Hear ye, hear ye. I hear my request. Woof. So that gets it, and enough to quash.
Is there? Oh, there is. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3. So you generate one so
I'm
far.
sorry. I'm the 2 dice on the thing are confusing me. So we've got 1. So what I'm going to do then is use the FIS League of Harmony to ignore a complication suffered on a task, which is the Legion of Honor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So ignore the
quashed.
complication.
Generate 1. So all those are kind of in motion and ready to move on your go.
Right. Gather up Nymoth and see what we can get done before my meeting with Throlic.
So you'll start heading down there. We'll have the meeting with Haifa and Throlic before we. So Haifa, you get up to presumably the office of Throlic rather than quarters. One presumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I imagine is Penn's former office right now, and just like is in process of redecoration.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sparse at the moment.
Putting all these sharp objects away and putting more sharp objects in there.
Surprisingly, there's only 1 sharp object now. There were a lot before.
That's the captain in the room. But up this.
No.
They're a bit blunt.
Yeah. No, the only bladed weapon in here is an Uton that's on the desk. But yeah. Commander.
As open the door, Commander Haifa, dressed in some experimental flight suit, will step in and say, it looks it looks different than the Admiral's office, but you need to put your own stamp on things, right?
Well, yeah. I just got the position. Not everything's moved over from the Da Vinci yet. Regardless. Commander, if you'd care to take a seat.
I'll do that, and I can't really put my holographic helmet on the table, so it kind of just disappears.
You make the motion to put it down and...
Garlic will be slightly surprised by this. Like, oh, okay. Commander, I've been looking over your files, and well, let's say that the process of the Admiral's retirement, while not unanticipated, was somewhat sudden. This leaves me in the position of figuring out a replacement for command of the Da Vinci. You're on my short list.
That's
You're the entire shortlist.
Well,
pleasant but unexpected, Captain. I did imagine that there would be some difficulty in elevating the Centurion, given our political stance that to support neither the state nor the Tel Shiar.
fortunately, it's not even as complicated as that. It's simply a matter of an exchange officer not being permitted under Starfleet Uniform Code to assume permanent control of a Starfleet vessel.
Well, I suppose Rylov has an easily reactivated commission.
Indeed. But that would involve those aforementioned political entanglements.
Yes, I'm sure Starfleet Command does not want to elevate a exchange officer of the Tel Shiar to compensate.
Indeed. But regardless, we're here to talk about you. I've been looking over your files, and frankly, I suspect you may have been in contention for command of the Da Vinci at the same time I was. Got some good
I'm
tips
not
on
sure.
your collar there.
I only came to the station to meet the requirements to get my own program at Utopia Planitia.
Well, so often Starfleet Command has different ideas about our career progressions than we do. I certainly wasn't anticipating command of the Da Vinci or command of the station. If what you're interested in is a recommendation for posting back in the dockyards, I can recommend that. But frankly, I think that working with an Obena class, as you are working in tandem with the FIS's experimental navigation systems and your own prototype, would look very good for future command of a dockyard as well.
Haifa mulls it over for a second and then says, I could almost get excited to do it if you could promise me that when we're ready, you'll take honest and serious consideration to pushing the Da Vinci to be upgraded with a drive. Obviously, you won't be able to do it completely, but if I could...
If any space frame could handle it, it would be
not only help
that one.
More importantly, it's going to take you and Serrano both to get it politically approved.
Right.
And with captaining a starship and completing a starship overhaul and refit, I could probably achieve a lot more than just overseeing the next refit cycle of the Miranda.
I would agree on that much. Those damn ships are like cockroaches.
No. If you need to get somewhere and you don't care if you arrive safely or on time, Miranda's got your back.
Yeah. But I can say that I would do my best to push for Da Vinci politically and institutionally. I think that the ship's mission parameters and postings and crew all give it strong contention for being or the first full Starfleet vessel to undergo such a process.
And I know you can't guarantee success. I only ask that you help attempt it.
I'd be glad to.
Then this is going to be the player asking, because Haifa has cultural studies. Do the Andorians have a handshake equivalent? I'm sure it's not been shown on screen.
Yeah. I don't know.
My understanding from vague memories of ENT is light touching of the hands. A full clasp of the hands isn't terribly common. That weirded him out, but like touching hands, acknowledging each other's existence, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because Arctic
That sounds
environment
right.
species, right? So, and warrior
High
type.
five.
Well, then Haifa will hold out a gloved hand, because I am wearing a suit,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Then you've got your hologram, Captain."
Thank you. I look forward to working closely with you going forward, Commander. Should I say Captain?
And she says, "Well, when you figure out how your chain of command is going to work, let me know, because I don't know if you're my commanding officer, or is the Admiral my commanding officer? Admiral Grinnon, that is. And you're merely, the highest ranking officer in this area."
Actually, I can answer that
So many
for
questions.
that's the thing. Your characters I'll let you know for free. It's similar to what happened before. Before Penn became admiral, there was overall mission command, which went to Halanak Station, and then Da Vinci assisted with the mission. So similar idea, but there are two separate chains of command. It's just that you're both on the same mission, with the station generally taking lead on the overall mission of the Halanak agreement. But there are times when the ship is independent or doing something. It's the Da Vinci captain's call what the Da Vinci does ultimately, because you're the captain of the ship. But so it's kind of that weird dynamics that you have. But yeah, you having different ranks is very important, because if you're of similar rank, that becomes an issue. Becomes a lot bigger issue. Right now, you are still the captain of the Da Vinci, though. You just have a superior officer that is on the same mission as you in the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like chain of command. Yes, there is one. It's one of those ones where I think it's like we're operating under rules that are not generally intended for like long-term deployments.
Well, it's the garrison ship helping out the station, basically. So station command.
Right, but like garrison ships are pretty definitively under the command, like under the chain of command of the station command.
Yeah.
Right. But I'll say we still have some sorting out to do about what exactly Starfleet presence looks like with the Admiral's departure, but you shouldn't expect too many changes. The overall Halanak mission is still commanded from Halanak Station, so I'll have overall mission lead and Da Vinci day-to-day operations and remote command will fall to you.
Well, then I suggest if oh, well, you said you had a short list. I guess you have others to interview?
The others I'd have to interview are several sectors away. Frankly, I was hoping you'd take it, but I had backups.
Oh, okay. Then maybe we can take care of this right now. We could call up Centurion for completeness sake and transfer the codes.
Right. We'll get the Centurion to observe a formal handover of our command, and I'll have ceremony for such as well set up. Could be by end of day.
Yeah, we can do something formal on the ship later, but actually having it right. If red alert was called in 5 minutes, having the actual who's going to go use the ship sorted, and so that the command codes work, we could get out of the way.
Great.
Is what Haifa was suggesting.
Yeah. I suspect that's just a matter basically of paperwork, right, Cam?
Yeah, I think all you got to do is ask the computer to do it. The only reason I suggested get Rylov is to have a witness, like
you would know that both people
witness.
have to be on the ship that's being handed over, because the computer's checking the biometrics of the two individuals. This person's going to this person. The person who has command codes is not only saying it, but they're actually there. And then the person who it's being given to is actually there and is the right person to get it. Though in your case, it's a little more unique because your biometric check system doesn't exist. You don't have biometrics.
I mean, it's probably a checksum, right?
Yeah, some sort of check.
Honestly,
well, yeah.
Electrometrics, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this episode brought to you by Aaron Sorkin. Let's walk and talk.
Yeah. All right. I'll hand over a pad to Haifa, like before we leave, and say if you can sign off on this, this will get the process started back at Starfleet Command as well.
Haifa signs it and thinks, maybe I'll have the engineers look over the prototype real quick, and then we can start long-term trials by having the prototype carry data back and forth to Earth. Even if the prototype only goes once a week, you'll hear back from Earth in what normally takes like week, isn't it? It's days or weeks worth of time to send a message to Earth.
Okay. What every commanding officer wants, a faster way for high command to get in touch with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Haifa has not learned that this is a problem yet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's on Thralic to educate Haifa that maybe you don't do this.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah, if you're a U.S. Army
captain, far away from here.
If you're a U.S. Army captain in the West, it's really convenient if you can only reach Washington by Pony Express, because that means you don't actually have to do anything.
Yeah, I will tap a communicator and say, Captain Thralic to Centurion Rylov.
This is Centurion Rylov. Go ahead, Captain.
Can you meet Commander Haifa and I on board the Da Vinci?
I am assuming you mean immediately, Captain.
That would be preferable. Do you have a pressing engagement?
Participating in an investigation alongside the harmonizers into a security concerning matter.
If you can spare 20 minutes, that would be appreciated, Centurion.
God damn it!
Like, Frolic isn't making this in order because she comes from a security background.
It's just
and
hard to
knows
get
that
things
sometimes
done
you
on the
can't.
station today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's almost like having mucked chains of command is an issue.
Yeah. I'm trying to unmuck them.
Presently, there are individuals in need of questioning and or pursuit that were at the dry dock for the experimental joint projects vessel before Commander Haifa repositioned said vessel and made me aware of the situation.
Oh
I
yeah.
do not believe I have the time to any time that would permit them to either leave the area or get further away might let said trail grow cold.
Gods and ancestors. All right, Centurion, you continue on that.
We can have someone else from the bridge observe, and
Yeah.
then we can actually use the Da Vinci to help Rylov.
Actually, I'll point out the rather unique problem and complication that due to a bit of bureaucratic shuffling, Thralic doesn't have the command codes anymore. Rylov does. Because Thralic took command of Halanak, and you can't be in command of the station and the ship at the same time. So, Rylov currently is the key holder, although technically that wasn't supposed to happen. You realize, Thralic, somebody in the command staff screwed that up. Because of the exact problem you just pointed out earlier. He's not supposed to be in sole possession of those codes. I mean,
Right,
there's
but
a second.
I'm technically supposed to have them still.
Someone's
despite
getting
the fact that's not normally regulation.
Yeah, someone's getting dinged for this. Let's put it that way. Someone did something they weren't supposed to. I'm helping out. No, you're not. You just created a minor political scandal, which is your problem. Thanks for that, Lieutenant.
Yeah,
So, Rylov does have...
Vice Admiral is about to get publicly humiliated and fired.
Yeah.
So Thralic does have the codes.
Does not.
Well,
Rylov has them.
I should have the codes, and I think probably to my knowledge I have the codes, actually. Because this is an administrative issue.
So someone essentially wiped your captain's codes and they defaulted to Rylov as the user.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't even think he's aware of that.
Right, so I think this is an issue of we get to the ship and try to do this, and get told by the computer that it's not possible. And
So we're going to have to call Rylov and say, it's no longer optional, you have to come.
He's gonna be like, God
yeah.
damn.
So it's like 15 minutes later, 15 minutes later, in the ready room, with probably Lieutenant Sham, we call back to you, I guess.
That's Commodore Jam to you.
I don't know where Rylov would be 15 minutes later from that point in time, or
we'll catch up to that in a moment.
My ship is stranded. No, my ship is stranded.
Well, it's
Captain of Star Serana. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
Everything that's happened to me this week has, it's just been fantastic.
So you were holed up in your quarters, right?
Yes. No. I would have.
Office, right?
Yes, I went to my office.
Right.
And I asked for Kovlik to meet me at his earliest convenience, and I'm not going to leave. Because I think someone wants to assassinate me. And so I'm just gonna hang out. I'm not going to do any more research because that's going to get me in trouble. And I'm not going to cause any ruckus, so that will get me in trouble. I think I might literally just be like watching television, or hollow programs, and just running down the clock until I can be put into protective custody, because I'm fully convinced at this point that what happened to me was some kind of creepy failed assassination attempt.
Around the time you're enjoying your favorite program, you notice every screen blanks out, and then a blue screen appears with the white lettering of 315.798.
Does that mean
every screen?
Does that mean something to me?
Reason, science, or engineering difficulty of 2.
Reason, science. Focus in this. Shackleton Affairs, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Said reason, science, difficulty 2. Why don't you take 3 momentum? Or 3 threat?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you? Oh my god. Okay. Nope, I don't know what this means.
That number rings a bell. So you know it has something to do with warp dynamics, but that's not the only thing it means. It's escaping at the moment. You hear in synthetic Upentari, so very machine-like pronunciation. Voice says, so I screw this up. Where are you? There you are. Iganath Sirana. Your life is currently in danger.
It's Hagnath, thank you very much. And who are you? She says, trying to sound confident, but fear creeping in.
We are the Kryptonauts. You are in danger for looking into something. They seek to recruit you or kill you. We advise you make a choice quickly. We can't protect you forever.
Be recruited or die?
Or forge a new truth. And the screen pop out of existence, pop to black, and then go back to normal.
Great. Oh my god. Okay. Do I know anything about who the Cryptonauts are?
Doesn't spring to mind, no. Actually, I'll give you a new roll, because they did say their name. Insight, engineering, or science, difficulty of 3.
No, let's
keeps making me think that they're Kryptonian astronauts.
Kryptonian astronaut.
Which isn't even how that
happened back on Earth in the 2000s, with the Crypto Bros were a thing. It's just them. They came back.
Oh no!
See, I keep putting the association with psychonauts, right? These people are just on mushrooms or something.
Oh, so it's Superman in an astronaut costume in someone's brain hugging crypto. Okay. Sounds great. Okay. Insight, science, 14.
Terrible.
I have a focus. I'm presuming Shackleton Affairs is still a focus.
Yep.
Difficulty 3. Okay. Steel Fleet officers, a treat. Would I be more familiar with them from my briefings as an officer in the Steel Fleet?
No.
Okay. They don't want to burn a value in information. And so instead, what I'm going to do is activate conspicuous gallantry and spend. It's 6 threat to roll 4 dice, right? Or is it 5? Hold on, I count. 1. It is 5. Okay, I'm spending 5 threat, and then if any of these challenge die are deltas, then you don't get it. Well, okay, you still get 5 threat.
Hooray.
All right. Oh, now it's really generous with me. So that's 3 momentum.
There actually has been you know it from your time in the brief time you might have had in your scientific studies with the Academy of Scientific Ascendancy. They're the educational scientific arm in space exploration. They're the non-military part of your job. They're familiar with them because the Kryptonauts are known. They are known hackers and slicers who have, and the reason they're related to you at all is that they have revealed that they're from the Alpha Quadrant and that they have poked around in the free information sphere and have added to the understanding of computing and coding in the free information sphere, occasionally testing systems and stuff like that. And apparently they seem to derive from a Federation-born academia of scholars of computer scientists and hackers back in some university way back in that very alien place. And they just slowly but surely found their way through the Aurelius Consortium, having hacked their systems and then made certain... They're actually some of the reasons why the Free Information Sphere gets alerted to what Aurelius is up to if any of his people are doing anything shady. Because they'll kind of let you guys know, hey, nod, by the way, these people are a thing. They don't like working with the harmonizers. They like working with the academy, or they don't like working with military or police people. They like working with other people, news agencies and stuff like that. But you've heard of stories of people being reached out to them by them, but you've never heard of something like this. Usually, it's a commercial issue. Like there's someone's doing something unfair. They hack in and let you know that it's unfair. Technically, they broke the law, but where are you going to find them? They're aliens on the other side of the galaxy. Good luck finding them.
Okay. So we've got foreign hackers masquerading as quantum vigilantes who are telling me my life is in danger, something I already knew, and that I have to find my own new truth to become safe. Great. This is lovely. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to do something extremely rational, like I probably shouldn't stay in a place that's like publicly marked as a place where I live in. So, do I know where Kovac buys his dope sticks?
For 2 momentum, you could know that. You might just happen to know that offhand.
Sure.
You just happen to see him buy it that one day. It's like, oh, that's where he gets them.
Okay, then
That's Cora's Coffee House.
Cora's Coffee House. Okay. Then I will. Do I have a replicator in here?
Oh yeah, you would.
Okay. I am going to do the very classic mystery trope where I'm going to make a cigarette card or like a matchbook with Cora's Coffee House on it, and leave it in one of the like prominent drawers of my desk. And then I'm going to sneak out and try to head down there. Hopefully, hoping that the harmonizer is able to put the clue together that it's not mine and that he'll come meet me there and that no one else will.
Very good. And they do have replicators. It's just they're very basic in comparison to the Federation. So think Much think more movie era. But yeah, you it's hard to reconstitute stuff back in it, so shredding it is the more common thing to do. But if you're doing something, you wouldn't want to make food in that replicator, but if you're making minor, like a nutrition cube or a matchbook, that's not unheard of. But replicating an entire mass driver, no, that's too complicated for it. It's not really meant to do that. There's industrial ones that can do that, but you'd have to go all the way to to the manufactory to have it assembled.
Food synthesizer, like TOS level type deal, but also has some aspects of industrial application or small industrial application.
Like, you won't starve with one in your room, but it's like, yeah, but I'd rather get food. I'd rather get something with some texture.
Well, you don't want the yellow and orange and blue cubes?
I mean, I would like to point out that you can survive on like ground flour alone if you're ambitious enough, but that doesn't mean anyone actually wants to.
Sayrana, why don't you give me a control or daring plus security opposed as you're trying to evade any possible pursuers that may be trying to follow you or keep on your tail.
Okay. Yeah, this is why I'm now glad I did not lose my determination. Where's Coffee House? I like the house is spelled like the German way. Okay. Control, daring, security. Okay, control is higher. My security is a 1, so it doesn't even matter if I try to focus.
I'm buying a full mitt, just so you know.
The place is run by the world's most interesting Klingon.
Okay. The trait. Okay. The trait of Upentari. I can slime around into nooks and crannies and around into spots that normal solid beings can't.
I will give you that.
Okay. Steel Fleet Officer. I know the layout of the station like the back of my hand because it is our most important military base, and it's drilled into all of our heads, every single service corridor and back alley.
I'll take it, yeah, because Talonexation's famous among the FIDF. Like, everyone has to go here at some point in their service.
Okay, this one might be playing against me. Prestigious in the FIS. It's harder for me to hide in plain sight because people tend to recognize me.
I'll take that's a complication increase.
Okay.
I don't think it's fair to give me a free ding because that's not me doing something cool. That's you. So I'll make it a comp increase.
So I have the talent of amorphous form. I don't have the text saved. I would have to find it, but I don't believe that's directly relevant here.
I believe it is. I think it's something that's what you were invoking earlier.
I was invoking the trait of being a Nupentari, not specifically the talent. What's the talent do again? Here we go. Amorphous form. The Upentari can temporarily alter their cellular structure, allowing them to squeeze through tight spaces and take on different shapes. Okay, does not have it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's what I'm invoking here. All right. Okay.
Because that talent shows that your character has a special control over the average Upentari.
Yeah. Values. I don't think any of these really apply to be avoiding being detected. The mission always comes first. I'm not on a mission. Solidarity forever. I'm working by myself. The FIS must forge its own path. No. Okay, I don't. Yeah, I am just going to spend 5. Sure. I will spend 1 momentum in 4 threat. Roll 5 dice 2. So that is 2 hits in a comp. That is 5 in a comp.
Oops, I have a roller. My mistake. Oh. This plus this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 hits.
Again, none of my values really apply here, so there's no point in... All right, you win.
As you're slamming away between a couple areas, all of a sudden you see a big metal thing kind of gets in the way of the passage you're trying to creep toward. So immediately you're like, well, if that's blocked, I'll just turn around, just go back the way I came, just come a different way. That gets blocked. That's not good. You're kind of trapped in between these two bits of very heavy metal. And that's when you notice that space suddenly starts filling with a dense gas. You can try to escape with fitness security, difficulty of 5 to try to break your way out. Otherwise, you're going to be knocked out. Because you know what that gas is. It's the kind of gas you use to knock out an Ipotari safely.
I'm sorry, what's the roll?
Fitness security.
This is an even worse roll. Oh my god, I'm so fucked. You have 22 threat.
Ooh, spicy.
Is it even worth attempting, knowing I won't succeed, to give you more threat? So I definitely don't have anything that relates to avoiding poison, so,
Evading capture. Or hostile forces.
I've never done that before. So... Alright. I didn't want to waste resources, so I just rolled flat, and I got a comp on it. This is going so well.
You know what? They used the wrong gas.
Oh no.
I'm being sarcastic, and
I
realize
mean,
I shouldn't
so do you have like a backup or anything? I know.
Come up with a new character. I like making new characters.
Okay, question, because I can't seem to find it in my PDF. What's your base? What are the determination spins? Wait, did I just find it?
Oh, what can you do with the determination spin? You mean?
Yeah.
You can
Okay,
make
I finally found it.
Oh.
2 successes. You can you can create an advantage.
You can create a complication for the other side.
I'm going to spend a determination to make it so, which means I immediately create an advantage that applies to the current scene, which will be, I was heading to Siriana's office anyway. When she turned around, she was kind of heading back towards the way I was going, and oh no, she's in trouble. And maybe law, justice, and the right thing aren't always synonymous. Alert.
I'm thinking. Sorry, I haven't really. I'm half sold on it, but you can get me the rest of the way. But I'm 100% sold on it.
Okay, what part are you tripping over? The value or the
value? Yeah, the advantage makes total sense.
Okay.
I know exactly what I'll do with that. I'm trying to think how the value applies in the situation without spelling out what's happening on the other side.
All right, so let me. Okay, let's see if I can sell you on another one. How about everybody has a tell?
I will 100% take that one.
Yeah, because it'd be just like Siriana to do something dumb like try and leave her office.
Dumb. They would have just released the gas in the office if I didn't leave.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yes, so there I will spend my advantage to make it so.
All right, I'll let you give me a roll of insight security opposed by them, as they're probably trying to grab Siriana and pull them somewhere, and you might. The reason why everybody has a tail clicked for me when you said it is you might notice something odd being moved, or someone's acting in a weird way on the way to her office. Buying a full mint, because, yep.
I see you.
Boop, boop. Because, like, the scene in my head is that something's being carried in, like, a container, and it might be a moment of, wait, hold on,
Right.
What are you two carrying? Open that up. What?
Okay.
No, come here for a second. Why are you acting all weird around me? I'm a harmonizer. You shouldn't be acting weird around me.
So, yes, I will give you, what is that, 6 for a full mint? 5?
6 for a full mint flat, yeah.
Yep. I will also activate my Silver Star of Harmony if I can use the focus observation based
Yeah.
on what you just described,
Mm-hmm.
which doubles my crit range. Intuitive for focus, the focus trait.
Yeah.
Hard-boiled detective. Sure. Yeah, I've seen somebody sneak somebody out rolled up in a carpet before. Yeah, see? So
you turned into bloody Bugsy there for a second, but, hey.
Yeah, it's Edward G. Robinson. See, one of the great actors of the 20th century. Yeah, see? Is this the end of Rocco? Okay.
If anyone watching this gets that, points to you.
Yeah, no clue.
It's from Little Caesar, one of the early gangster films of the 1930s. So yeah, the last one is actually a 2 because it's within my doubled crit range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm counting 9 hits.
Because that would tip your hand. Too bad, guys. I can only make so many contingencies. So like 2.
Okay,
So
so I have enough to quash that comp.
No, that's how math works. That's how math works.
7, quash the comp with 2, 5.
Yeah. Yeah, you notice there's a trio of Savix cast who are carrying what looks to be a large like liquid container of some kind. Now at first that doesn't completely jump out at you. It is pretty big. That's weird. Then it clicks. Couple things. One, this is the dry area of the station, not the wet area. Savix cast hate carrying heavy things in the dry area. They get other people to do it. Generally, Upantari, or in theory, will do it for them to be nice, because why make them do something that unpleasant? And it's not a big deal. You just ask somebody. Also, last thing that kind of jumps out at you that's weird about these 3. You're not sure where they'd be taking it, because this area is like, none of this area is liquid goods. Like it's all like it's dry goods and sundry and stuff like that. If they're carrying this somewhere, they're carrying it a long way. It doesn't make sense that they're doing this here unless there's some weird Savix cast ritual. But something tells you, and they're acting a little agitated around you. Which, although acting agitated in the Federation is not really enough in a lot of regards, free information people are comfortable around harmonizers. They are. The harmonizers generally have always done good things, and you're a known harmonizer of the station, so they should be, if anything, they should be asking you for help or get you to get someone to help them.
Right. So like I kind of pass them and then like immediately kind of spin on my heel. Say, where are you gentle beings taking that container? Here in the dry part of the station.
Well, we were going to collect data in this. And we have, so we're going to take it down up to level 4.
Is level 4 a wet part of the station?
There's a wet part of every station, but they're coming from level 5 to level 4, which if they're going to do tests, why wouldn't they just do it on level 4? Like, that's a weird lie. It falls apart almost immediately.
So, what kind of equipment you got for tests in that thing?
Oh, very sensitive material harmonizer. That's why
So sensitive that it's better to carry it by hand than some sort of stabilized cart or anti-gravity float?
Well, you see, they drop the container and bolt in 3 different directions.
Okay, well, I'm more concerned about the container. I'm going to see if I can't open the container.
Those people manage to get away. After a bit of finagling, you see there is a liquid in there, except it seems to have a very specific lattice. And oh, wait a minute, you know that coloration? That's I mean, poor Opentari looks a little pale because they've been exposed to something that's very unpleasant for Opentari. But that looks like Seirana in a box.
Yeah, you'd recognize that yellow and pink anywhere.
Is she A, alive, and B, conscious?
Insight medicine, difficulty 2.
Right, take a momentum for a third die. Xenokinesics, because Opentari look different dead?
At complication, sure.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, God, and you've seen a lot of dead Opentari.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, I have no idea if she's alive or not.
Kind of looked dead to you.
Well, then I guess there's nothing to do but throw out the airlock. No,
Give it a smell check. Can't tell.
Do what?
Smell check.
Okay. GM.
Yeah.
From my perspective, can I ask you, am I conscious? Because I can just say something if I'm awake.
You're aware of its presence, but you don't have control over your body at the moment. You're aware he's there.
Oh, I've been paralyzed?
I will,
because knocking out an Opentari is very, very difficult.
I will spend 2 to quash the complication, so I just flub the roll rather than
think she's
doing
dead.
something terrible.
Like,
right.
This is more of a wait. They're dead. They're not moving. Wait, Opentari do that sometimes. That's not right. Right. Okay, not dead. Just not
Kovic to medical. Emergency situation on deck 5. Opentari in distress.
Meanwhile, Centurion Ryloff.
Yes, hi.
You're in the docking area, level 1, I believe.
This is such like a classic Star Trek thing where the A plot is like this serious political intrigue about a group who wants to kill one of our main characters, and the B plot is about a bureaucratic mistake, meaning technically no one is currently the captain of the ship and no one actually knows that.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. So, I was looking for some individuals, and I imagine a group of 3 Romulans and 2 Betazoids would probably stand out like a sore thumb if they were still here.
If they were still there, yeah.
But they're not still here.
No, a lot of the area is cleared out. There are some people hanging around because there's people sharing notes, and I got a better shot. Do you want to change? You want halvesies, tradesies? You got to talk to them? That's great. And and actually, you notice that it's a lot more. A lot of people have left, but there are some people here. But adding to the complication, there actually are some Alpha Quadrant species and some people who are Vulcans, who, at a distance, one might mistake them as Romulan, just because of their skin tone. Which, Romulans and Vulcans wouldn't make that mistake, but an alien might make that error.
Naturally.
Much to Vulcans and Romulans' annoyance.
Yes.
Oh, you're Romulan. I'm just from planet this. What the hell?
Or any of the other various Vulcanoid species that exist.
Yeah.
Between.
I'm not even Vulcanoid. I'm Vulcanoid, but I'm not Vulcan or Romulan. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can't you tell?
Several of those. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can't find someone who maybe was working at the time, because it's still an active dockyard, right? Or dry dock.
Dry dock area. This is like the public concourse area, which normally is fairly sparse because there's nothing really to look at down here. But currently, there's a lot of people hanging around.
All right. Yeah, we'll see if we. I mean, it's going to have to take a little bit of extra time to see if we can get the right group, but we'll ask some questions about if anyone did notice the specific group of Romulans and Betazoids. Both together is harder to make a mistake of than Vulcans and such.
Present security opposed.
Yeah.
Buying a full mitt, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I will note, mechanically speaking, I have to do this twice. There are 2 different groups active.
Oh,
so
charming. Would investigative techniques focus, presumably?
I would take that, yeah.
Just in a matter of how can I phrase the questions to make people think that little bit more to get the right answer.
Get them across the line, yeah.
Yeah, well, like not in terms of like, oh, you're making yourself guilty, more in the terms of making you think about an extra detail that would tell you if it was a Romulan or a Vulcan or not.
Right.
Like the eyebrow ridge, the forehead ridge, is probably, please. What was the hairstyle? Because they have difference. Is this a task to attempting to notice or detect an enemy or hazard?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a reroll from the Wary Talent. I would like to activate the Star Cross to double my focus range.
Very good.
And if mistrusts Klingons comes in any way, shape, or form, that's where you could let me know, but I don't think it does.
Comp increase.
Okay, there we go. I have Scout, which is possible but dubious.
I wouldn't take it at this point.
Yep. Subtle doesn't seem like it is coming in at this point, unless failure is I'm getting shot, in which case subtle might be relevant.
No.
No, I don't think any of the other ones come into play. Wary potentially could come into play, but that would be more for the trait Wary, not the talent.
No, I wouldn't take the trait.
I'm not being observed. I'm trying to find someone.
Right.
Oh, you only have 6 threat?
I spent for both of them, though.
Yeah. I shall give you 6 threat. Actually, no. Think about. I'll consider giving you 6 threat, and then I'll do a thing that means you don't get. Oh wait. Yeah, I can do that again. Yeah, so you get 2 threat.
Ooh, screw you.
I like that one. Okay, and I have 2 rerolls from using Bold Security and Wary.
So, Group 1. Group 2. Group 2 gets to reroll 1 of their dice.
I need to refresh my roll 20 anyway. Sure, I only see one of the groups roll. Or is that group 2 you rolled first?
Spending determination.
They don't have.
reroll.
That seems.
I will not fail in my duty to the Empire, or we won't.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for group 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Okay,
for group 2.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
And
The text for what you just typed in just popped up. I still don't actually see the second group or their reroll.
oh, I have them on GM roll. That's my bad. I can see them,
Oh,
and
okay.
people at home can see them, but you can't. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I was just making sure I wasn't like lagging out because it also seems like there's a delay for the 5 in group 1 and 6 in group 2 showing up. I have 2, 4, 5, 6 successes at present.
Fortunately, that gets both of them, gains you a momentum from at least one of the groups. So one thing you learn, it is 2 separate groups. Like the way people talk about them, they are very different groups that weren't working in tandem in any capacity that you understand. They are able to identify the group of Romulans that were there. And people give you a description of what they look like, what they were doing. Most people just assume they were more press or scientists or whatever. So no one there was really suspecting anyone.
Yeah.
This is a major historical event and a scientific achievement. So yeah, lots of excitement, especially in the free information sphere. This is big news. And the 2 Betazoids, you get descriptions of them as well. And based on their attire, you did spend some time in Starfleet and in the Federation. They don't sound like any of the major outlets. Like they just like other people you run into, like the Federation News Network. People know who they are. Like they have the badge, the suit that they wear. Like people know who they are pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
they're very proud of who they are. There's other outlets as well. Like there's a Vulcan one. There's a regional one near Rigel 7. That sort of thing. There's one trying to start in the shackle from Narendra News. They're okay. A little excitable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you get descriptions. But I will say those Betazoids didn't look like any news outlet anyone knew. They just figured there must have been either private individuals or a small outlet that no one recognized right away. That could happen.
Independent,
UFP is big.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Like, it's a reasonable cover that both groups had, though there's less Romulans present on the station than I imagine Federation species.
Yeah. There's some Romulan travelers here, but there's not a ton.
Mm-hmm.
There's more nowadays because of you and Rule, so they feel safe that this is somewhat neutral-esque territory. Although this place has turned a little more Cold War-y because both of you are here.
Yeah. I'm guessing these were civilian clothed rather than uniformed?
Yeah.
Or were they? Okay. Lovely.
Which that also is what kind of made them the thing that actually made them stand out, especially in the free information sphere. People are very proud of their role here, and Federation very quickly picked up on that as well. So it's very, my job as a reporter, I'm a reporter with such and such. Oh, that's cool, that sort of thing.
But they were subtle about it.
They were very subtle, which on some stations wouldn't be that weird. On Halanak station, that's odd. Why wouldn't you want to be known that you were here?
Mm-hmm. If I had to hazard a guess, they are not individuals that Rylov recognizes.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. Because I imagine he's aware of most state Romulans that show up just because he's the state liaison, so they're probably, he's at least tangentially aware of them.
For momentum, I can clarify on that.
Okay, sure.
If they were any sort of state news, they would have had to report to you, and some have. Some would have reported with the big event that's going on, but they weren't the ones that people were describing. Besides, they would dress up a little more colorfully to fit in with the free information sphere because they wanted people to know their state.
Yeah. Okay.
Proud Romulan news, that sort of thing.
That does give us 2 groups to try and track down, though. The problem being security cameras blocking off. But there might be logs somewhere.
This is Da Vinci A to Centurion Rylov.
This is Centurion Rylov. Go ahead, Da Vinci.
Captain, we have him on the line.
Good. Centurion, my request has become an order. I need you to report to the USS Da Vinci for pressing command-related thing.
Aye, Captain. I will make all due haste to the Da Vinci.
Thank you. This shouldn't take too long.
And then he'll probably I didn't use her for the role, but we'll say she was there just for story's sake. Turn to Laura, give her the information, be like, just take that to the Harmonizer's office and carry on. See if you can track down any individuals through their, the station security systems or the cameras, vid feeds, anything.
That gets you a curt nod.
Yeah. And he'll start going to the Da Vinci.
And thus do Thralik, Haifa, and Rylov stand aboard the Da Vinci in the ready room and on the bridge. Actually, I can take us there.
On the bridge.
Yeah, on the bridge at this point.
We.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
probably technically in the ready room to explain. And then
gotta turn on the cameras because this is the first non-emergency command hologram exercising control over a Starfleet vessel.
this is true, yeah. So first, it's in the ready room. Centurion arrives, and Thralik says, "Centurion, there was a administrative error, and it turns out you have the full command codes for the Da Vinci. Commander Haifa is being given command of the ship, and we'll be doing a provisional swap over pending a full ceremony."
There is definitely a slight smirk at the "you have full command codes," like the
Yeah. Yeah.
This is amusing.
Yeah, your time to gallivant and go solve the Civil War with the Da Vinci alone is passing.
You're saying that I could have sat in this chair and had it be mine for the last 20 minutes? How long has this been a problem?
For over a day.
Technically, since I assumed command of Halanak Station,
Yeah, actually,
someone over there decided that proper rules and regulations must be followed, not accounting for the other rules and regulations regarding exchange officers. It's someone's getting reprimanded, and I haven't figured out who yet. But first, we're resolving this.
Wow. I guess you'll have to entertain the sub-commander's request to control the ship for a day then.
I will do no such thing.
And congratulations, Commander Haifa.
Thank you, Centurion. It's a surprise to me, I'm sure, as much as it is to you.
Not exactly a surprise. I never imagined I would be granted command of the vessel, even through an accident. And you do seem like a likely choice.
No. Well, at least someone thought so.
Who's that shade being thrown at? Is my question.
The neo-religious will be a
No. That's not shade. That's Haifa not thinking that this was going to happen to Haifa.
Yeah, that's Haifa throwing shade at themselves, more or less, like someone else sees me as a likely candidate. Great.
Uh-huh. All right. Well then, if the two of you are ready, let's proceed to the bridge and begin handoff.
Haifa waits for something to interrupt the situation, causing more problems.
Uh-huh.
After you two.
Yeah, I do have 5 threat, but that doesn't happen.
So after you both leave my office, while
Yeah,
I
yeah.
this for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah. Enjoy it well, Centurion.
Don't worry, you'll get a glowing review in my report to State Command.
The staff on the bridge, like they're kind of doing some stuff because you're docked with station at the moment. They all kind of have that moment of they start getting up out of their chair, like, and there's this half look at Thralic and Haifa of like, are we actually doing this? Because you probably tried to do this, and everyone's like, oh yes, we're all gonna stand up and yeah, we're gonna do the thing, and I guess we get back to what we're doing, and we'll do this in a few minutes. Okay, we're doing it again. It's a look of we are doing this now, right? And then everyone stands away from their chairs.
Secreted away the command codes without anyone knowing this is such a Romulan move to have made. Alright, yes. I imagine I'm not at all familiar with the Starfleet protocol for this action, given I was never anywhere near it.
I mean, you've never had to hand over command codes.
Yeah. So Captain Thralic will say, computer, begin process of ship authorization command code transfer. Centurion Ryloff to Commander Haifa. Centurion?
Please state your name, rank, and security code.
Centurion Rylov, 3, 2 Alpha, Charlie, 2, 4, Black. I hereby cede command of this vessel to Commander Haifa.
Please state name, rank, and security code.
Uh,
And immediately as you're starting to begin talking, you can already tell the computer is accessing your emitter to check that it is actually you.
I was about to say, I don't know that Haifa responds verbally. Like, the most efficient and secure method is to just transmit directly to the computer.
Binaric screech.
Yeah, like a human has to like either use their hands to type on a computer or write an interface or their voice to transfer a command, but that's the least secure method that a hologram can do.
True. I mean, you might do both because you were talking about posterity.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I'll performatively say Commander Haifa, the security code being transmitted. Because I'm a little spooked by all the programmers running around. I don't really want to say my command codes.
Yeah, fair.
If not absolutely necessary.
And what are the reputations of Haifa and Ryloff by chance?
I have a 5.
Good question.
I know.
4. Oh, Star Navy 4, former Starfleet 5.
Yeah. Yeah, the two of you upon this passing get a round of applause from the crew and the bridge. There's you get it from people that you know, like, you know, Mila, Silak, and Arias. They know you too, you know, so it's not completely unheard of for them to clap because they know who you are. But there's other people who are newer transfers, but they just know of the reputation. Like, they're lucky that they get to be here to see this. It's like, oh, cool, we get to see the moment where Ryloff handed over command to Haifa. We'll have to ask Sarlacc what that was about. I thought, why did this have to happen? But don't worry about it.
Wait, Ryloff had command of the vessel is also probably like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Captain Thralic is also just, gently applauding. On that.
Command transferred. Welcome aboard, Captain Haifa.
Congratulations, Captain Haifa.
Haifa looks around and and then looks back at Thralic and says, "Well, perhaps we'll have to have a dinner as a informal celebration, Captain, later."
Of course.
Then Haifa kind of just stands there awkwardly waiting for Thralic to leave.
Yeah, I look around the bridge and say, "It's been an honor, and you're in good hands."
What's your reputation, Thralic?
My reputation is 4.
You
So.
still get a round of applause from the people. Plus, you're the
Yeah.
captain, so a lot of people who did come on were like, "Oh, hey, I'm here with Captain Throck. Oh, I'm not under Captain Throck anymore. Oh, okay, that person, cool."
Mhm.
You know.
It was entertaining to unknowingly be your captain.
Yeah, and then I will head off.
Hey, does that count as command experience for the Centurion? I mean, I suppose you could write it in his CV if you really wanted to.
Although to do so would embarrass
the ship now.
to do so would embarrass the admirals above him, which would also hurt his CV, right?
Yeah.
It would embarrass the Starfleet
Yeah.
admirals, which endears me to the Star Navy admirals.
Yeah, I've happy to do this as captain now. We'll say just to make sure everything's in good order, so I can faithfully sign over to Starfleet that the Da Vinci's in good order. Let's go ahead and run diagnostics and as a test, Centurion.
Aye, Captain.
As it is now entirely my prerogative to take the ship apart whenever I want.
Yes, it is.
Oh no, I've created a monster.
I'll note that Mila, Selak, and Arias go with it like just clockwork. It's like, yeah, we've been doing this because it's a trait of the ship. It's like, yeah, we do this all the time. Some of the new guys are like, wait, what? We're really doing work today? Are we doing drinks and stuff? Oh, no, we have to do the breakdown first. That's just tradition around here. That is not. Yeah. You're lying. No, I'm not kidding you. That's 100% what we're doing.
Yeah, no, it's Ralph.
Yeah, it has the
XO stand and is also giving the same repeated orders to disseminate them.
What is the trait of F2?
Oh, that's 0 now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fractured 0 now. Or it's like technically like 0.1.
Do we need to delete it?
Oh no, keep it at 0.
No, we turn it to F0. I'll change that. There we go.
There is any percentage of fracturing on the vessel. It is F0. It's just 0.3% or 0.03%, something like that. It's tiny. It's minuscule. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. No longer spreading.
That feels like something that I'm supposed to worry about now.
Oh, it absolutely is. This is your job to worry about it now.
It isn't something you're supposed to worry about because it's a temporal matter and you don't need to know.
Yes, but she's also the captain of the ship now.
Yeah, when it becomes relevant, it becomes relevant.
Eventually, medical staff come to the emergency situation on the deck, and with a few applications of various ointments, is able to revivify Sayrana back into motion again. A bit of a gathering of people's cuddled around what's happened here, because you're kind of on one of the main recreational areas.
She kind of just like from her like we got almost liquid viscous form filling out the container. She just kind of shoots upwards into a solid being. Oh my god, I was being attacked. Are they gone? What happened? Oh my god, a second time in one day.
Technically a second day, so twice, 2 days.
Helpful.
Thanks for that.
Yes, you've had quite an interesting day. Unfortunately, I'm about to make it more interesting. Here's a warrant for a forensic examination of all of your computers and various personal electronic devices.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I have nothing to hide anymore.
Anymore is suspicious.
Not that I ever had anything to hide. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I suspect the warrant for your arrest should be arriving shortly, but Kovic wants to have like some harmonizers that are good that he can absolutely trust guarding Sariana while she's in med bay, so he can hopefully get to her computers before anybody else with malefic intentions does.
Mm-hmm. That easily done.
Okay.
So we've now got 2 technically branched, 3 investigations going on at the same time, if not more. No, it is more than 4. Damn.
Kovic, before you leave, there's clearly a concerted attempt to end my life. There were 3 Savix casts who attacked me. They injected some form of neural stimulant into my system that immediately knocked me out. This is the second time there's been an attempt on my life. Please tell me that while I'm in your custody, that you will keep me safe, because I don't know where to go or who to trust anymore, and who will keep me alive.
Well, I'll certainly do my best. Dr. Callis, how soon can Seriana be on her pseudopods and out of here?
They can go right now, really.
Right. Good. Seriana, exactly how much control over your pigmentation do you have?
GM, that's a question for you.
Hold on. I was looking at myself. There is a way they do it. I just forget.
Yeah, Kovic's ask is going to be: does she have enough control to
disguise herself?
Yeah. So you look like we could take a different exit from sickbay or whatever, and
Or feeling that, is there some kind of medical injection the medical officer could give?
Good too.
Injector with food coloring.
Body paint.
In a sense, yeah. It'd be a combination of gel pigmentation change and a change of. There's clothes on Opentaria, but it's more like adornments, like little things that highlight your role and stuff on you. And it's meant to go with your body as it rolls about or slimes about. If you change those clothes and then you have a heavy dose of injection into your coloration, you can temporarily change your appearance. It wouldn't survive in-depth scrutiny, but at a distance, you would look like some other Opentari. To make it permanent is you actually have to go all the way down to Opentari and go to the Great Slime, and then you can have it shifted more permanently. But that's a whole process. But you can't do it in the short term. People do that sometimes when they're trying to first festivals or to look at a little more vibrant than normal, or dull if they don't really like the person,
Diplomatic statement, dull colors.
But you can't. But it's not something you can do innately. It's something you need. There's chemicals and a change of clothes that you could do, and you could swap your appearance a little bit.
Okay. Would there be a role involved in that?
I would say it would be a momentum for opportunity, which would be threat in this case. You have no momentum at the moment. So opportunity for the right stuff, and then it would be, I'd say, control plus control in this case, because you're trying to avoid notice. Control plus security opposed.
Oh god, am I making that roll?
I think that'd be more Kovic, because I'd be figuring out a way to stay the station to get you to one of the safe houses that the Harbingers, the Harmonizers keep, which we've already established, because I've got an Ulan stashed somewhere on the station. I've forgotten exactly where. The safe house is so good.
Yeah. One can lead and others can assist. It's just a matter of buying the right stuff and then very quickly.
Could we roll for an advantage to get perhaps some momentum for opportunity instead of just having to give you threat?
I'm not sure how, because at the moment I've spent 4 threat to invoke the end of scene. There are actually, I'll narratively highlight what this is. These 3 are members of the FIDF who are from in theory, and they are approaching your position. You have enough time to do something before they get to you, but you don't have a ton of time. if you had more time, you might have been able to do something else. But if you do that something else, they'll get to you while you're trying to do something.
Okay, so yeah, we'll spend the threat and then make the security roll. So it's opposed? What security? Control.
Control, yeah. I get to 1 die for them. There's a group of you, so no, it cost me. It costs the same either way because I can buy 1 die.
So I'm going to spend a milestone. I'm going to call back to freelancers, where I spent a milestone for secretly moving a prisoner who has aroused the interest of differing political parties.
Yes.
Would that apply?
It would, yeah. As a note, I have 5 dice total currently.
Okay, very good.
But these guys aren't major NPCs. I'll tell you that for free. So there's not a whole lot I can do. Yay, squad.
Okay. I don't think any of those really help me. So so I will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the other 4 dice. Maybe hard-boiled detective for a trait, because it's not the first time I've had to avoid being tailed or followed.
I won't take it because it's Seirana you're trying to make up here. You're trying to disguise who they are. Who she is.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I've got 2 for the determination spend, and then we're going to roll 4. I do not have a focus for this. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I can do there. I'm at 4 currently.
Well, I'm going to roll an assist. Can
Okay.
I argue for control science if I'm approaching this from a more chemical point of view of the kinds of biochemistry necessary to make this change?
I take it, yeah.
Right. I'm looking for focus in this, and sure, actually, can I give you 3 threat for walking encyclopedia on the grounds that I'm giving myself a focus in like biochemistry to make this happen?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Well,
5 hits versus 6 so far.
Okay, let me see if I can't swing a reroll by finding something. Hmm. Call back to shutdown, where I spent toward general station security, because this is bigger than just Sariana, and keeping her safe is, I'm thinking, vital to the security of the station and maybe even the FIS.
I'll take it.
Okay, cool. So, and I will re-roll 2 with that. Okay, so that brings us up to 7. Gonna run out of milestones at this rate.
Able to just in time change Sarana's coloration before the group gets up to you. And The three, in theory, float over to you. Their light bodies. Generally, you see within theory, you generally see just the light in the general form. These people, like most FIDF people, are wearing certain very dark colors to contrast against the light beaming from them, to highlight who they are. They float up to your group, and they look at you. They shine very dim lights at you. Harmonizer. We were informed that Captain of Stars Seirana was spotted in this area. Have you seen him?
Yes,
Am I
she
with
was.
him? Am I with him at the time?
Yep.
Next to him, or is this okay? Then I am completely silent here. Then.
Yes, and you were looking for the Captain of the Stars. Why?
We have orders to bring her to the Minister of Defense regarding her position here on Halanak Station.
Well, unfortunately, the warrant from the judicial system and Harmonizer's office for the Captain of the Stars arrest supersedes your request, at least for the moment. So you'll have to tell the Minister of Defense or whomever that they'll need to go through the Justice Department and the various bureaucracies to see if you can override the justice system's own warrant.
Harmonizers, you may wish to check your data. We've been informed that warrant has been withdrawn.
I'll look at my data.
As of 30 minutes ago, it's been withdrawn.
By whom?
By the Minister of Defense, because he's the one who asked for it.
Well, but I had the warrant issued through the Justice Department before that, right?
He put it through, the Minister of Defense put it through the Justice Department and then filled the paperwork through the Justice Department to get it to you, yes. So there is a bureaucratic point you could stand on. You could make it a judicial issue. Not a political one, it's a judicial one. Because that is they have created a confusion point here.
Well, seems like the minister is a little bit confused. First he wants someone arrested, then he doesn't want someone arrested. And unfortunately, his flip-flopping and mind-changing has created kind of a bureaucratic mess here. We're going to have to sort this out between the Justice Ministry and your ministry, because the timing here, I have a legal warrant issued before the order to withdraw came from the request to withdraw came from the Defense Ministry. I have a legal warrant issued by the Justice Ministry. So I think we're both going to have to go back to our various superiors and let the wheels of bureaucracy sort this out.
We'll carry out our duties, Harmonizer. You are free to do the same. If you're unable to help us, that's fine. Sorry to bother you.
I would advise the military to be very careful on how they approach persons of interest to the Harmonizer's office.
And we would advise that an alien let free Infospherians deal with their matters.
I see how things are now. Your distasteful bigotry aside, the Department of Defense is overseen by civilian agencies. Law enforcement and security on this station is a Harmonizer affair. That comes from the highest levels of the FIS government, comprising all three of the species involved in that government. If you have a problem with that, I suggest you take it up with the prime minister, the presiding speaker and the House.
Infospherians don't answer to outsiders. there's a bit of a crowd starting to build, and it's like this is shocking for them to hear people
You
in
don't have to
uniform
answer
talk
to
like that.
outsiders. As far as I'm aware, the presiding speaker is Upentari, and the entire body of legislature are Upentari in theory and Savix cast. And that entire body and the presiding speaker have placed station security matters firmly in the hands of the harmonizer's office. I represent that office. So are you saying that you reject the authority of the the FIS Parliament? And I look at Nymoth and Seriana and the doctor and goes, "Please, citizens, carry on. I'll catch up with you both later."
Give me presence security. Actually, I'll end the scene as that you did succeed at getting them out of there. So unless you're hanging about to continue the debate.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Naima very
distraction serves me
quickly
just as
clues
well.
in like, oh, you want us to get out of here? Let's get out of here.
What, Serana doesn't want to appreciate the fruits of her labor?
I look, I never thought the leopards would eat my friend's face.
Uh-huh.
And I'll note, as you're debating with these guys, a larger crowd is billing around the four of you. It's a lot of people just observing this very weird situation of these FIDF people arguing with a harmonizer. Like that's just that's never happened to these people before.
Right now, a scene is all to my advantage.
And with that, oh yeah, just to keep running tense scenes. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. That's fine. Hi everybody. So yeah, more truth to be looked at, more conspiracies to figure out, and hey, the chain of command's being figured out, so that's always fun. But yeah, hopefully, maybe the fine folks of Halanak Station will be able to figure out who exactly and why exactly people are messing with them. But for now, all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And I hope to see you all again next time. Bye. Oh.
Problem is getting 30 seconds to try and do some investigation before things happen again.
Don't worry, that's exactly how much time I got to do investigation.
Right.
Yeah.
I can get some evidence.
Next time you head to your office, you just have a random Romulan in there being like, I am looking at the cameras.
If I get to the computers, I might get some evidence. What do you mean she's being slime napped? Oh, goddamn it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Literally, I don't even want to do anything as Serana at this moment because I feel like sticking my neck out any amount is going to result in like Agent 47, but he's a plant blowing my brains out.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm about to buy a shoe phone. What are you talking about?
You don't have one already?
Maxwell Smart.
Yeah, right. Missed it by that much.
Get yourself a cone of silence